One of those pushed one of the Cyclops guards into me in the Eastern Palace big key room, and I died. Oh, and here we go.
Carnath choosing to start at Link's house, getting a pod small key.
And I don't know what's happening with Kirito here.
Yeah, I wonder if they stepped away for a second and didn't see the go. Or the stream could be, yeah.
Stream was desynced, yeah.
All right, so we got a tier 1 tree pull of just some heart. And looked like a 20 rupee from Sank Chest.
Yep.
So it looks like Kirito's setting up to get some kills on some guards to set up a tree pole. And Carnath not committing to the full escape clear, which I think is kind of a smart play. Just go to Uncle, maybe go do something else. We'll see. It looks like he might also be going up kind of the north side route into Kakariko. Really important with this tree pull strategy here, and Kirito's doing it very well. You want to avoid...
Oh,
there was an 8
bomb drop. That was nice. That's the stuff you want to see.
Exactly. That's the #1 thing he's fishing for at this moment. So also nice would be some rupee drop.
Yep. Yeah, no, I usually check the tree here for the 2 4-kill groups. One with taking damage and without here, usually off the start. But
yeah,
I usually just use that pickle there and the bush in the next screen up, so you can just go back and forth between the 2 really quick.
Yeah, that's a really solid strat. It looks like 10 arrows for the tier 3, so we'll see if Kirito's going to set up to check the tier 2 as well. If it's rupees, that could be really helpful.
Yeah, it's always good to know if you've got something useful in those tree pulls for if you get stuck. And having the arrows there is nice, because when you run out of arrows, having a good place to get arrows can be difficult.
Yeah, on your way to GT, there's a tree pull spot right next to TR, and that arrow drop can be very useful. I didn't see where Mushroom was. Was that at Old Man? Or I mean, Uncle? It must have been.
No, I was too busy looking at Kirito there for a minute. I missed where he got that from.
Yeah, I think it was front half of Escape in one of those 2 chests there. Or the well, I guess it's called Hyrule Well.
Yeah.
Carnath not far away from being able to buy bombs. They didn't grab that lucky 8 bomb drop from those blue sword guards, or was it a green sword guard?
Castle Tower key.
It'll be interesting to see where they go from here after they do the kind of standard Kakariko clear. And I'm sure it'll be highly dependent on what they get, but you know, your common options are go back to Escape for Carnath, or go there for the first time for Kirito.
Yep.
Do Sahasrahla in Eastern, which is a dip, but it's often a required dip in Keysanity.
There's also South Shore.
Exactly, with the very lucrative spot to check right now.
Yeah, Carnath still looking for bombs, pulling up bushes everywhere.
Or maybe even those last 6 rupees. That he's
or rupees, yeah. There we go. 20 will do it.
It's bailed out.
And straight to the bomb shop.
Yeah, very fortunate drop with Kirito there. I think also because Kirito was trying to kill creatures to get the higher tier. Ooh, silver arrows.
Silvers.
Moon Pearl very early. Interesting strat from Carnath there. Just pick up the bomb and carry it to the wall and let it damage you. It's probably slightly faster. That's pretty cool. Yeah, when you get that Moon Pearl or anything that allows you to fake flip or real flip, whether it's boots or flippers or whatever, you're definitely thinking South Shore at that point.
Yeah, the Moon Pearl helps. I mean, you can still do the fake flippers without the Moon Pearl, but the water walking for getting the waterfall cave through the whirlpool makes a big difference with the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, absolutely. It increases the value that you might get from that location.
Of course, they're nowhere near the 500 rupees for Zora, so I don't know how eager they are to head up that way yet.
Yeah, no helpful tree poles to get them the rest of the way. So if Zora is required, it might be some extensive farming that we're looking at here.
Kirito's got some cash. Looks like he's going to get his bottle vendor for a $20 rebate.
Not bad compared to what it can be sometimes, I suppose. Still a ripoff.
Yeah.
So interesting to see if Carnath heads back down to race game because they had to take a slightly different route in order to buy bombs.
Yeah, they have to start
which
at the
makes it a
south
little
end.
bit more awkward.
Probably gonna have to farm up a little bit more to be able to get that bottle vendor too. He's gonna head back in and go for those jars again, or yeah, looks like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, solid strategy. You might end up coming back here to farm more rupees, depending on if the Zora is required early on in the game.
Yeah, if it gets real tight, this is one of your few decent options.
Kirito heading on over to the bombable hut. I'm guessing to pick up some more bomb drops, which I think is a great strategy right now. You're swordless.
Yep. And it, like this is a good time to use this instead of just buying another stack. And well, I mean, it would raise rupees at this point. He's got the money to buy them, but he only needs 4 more. So
hold on to that money in case you do need to farm it for something.
Yeah. Well, there's other things you need to buy. You got to pay for Kiki. You got to pay for.
And it picks up a couple of extra bombs in the bushes as well on the way, which is great.
Yeah, there's a couple bushes there that have a high chance to drop one. And they're resyncing at the library again.
Yeah, very close.
Oh, Bombos? Yup.
Yeah, we'll see if that's needed for either Ice Palace or could be Misery Mire, Turtle Rock. Not to mention, it's so handy in Skull Woods when you're up against those Gibdos. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, clearing out that room with Bombos is a preferred strategy. Ether works too, actually. Instead of even freezing them, it just kills the mummies outright.
Kind of a great sync up here. Now Carnath is getting his 9 bombs as well. We're like practically neck and neck right now.
A bit of an arrow advantage for the bow they don't have yet from that tree pole, but I mean, you never know, they might find it early and then all of a sudden Carnath has no arrows to use.
Or you might just stab people with them. So Carnath electing to save and quit from here, and Kirito walking back. It looks like Kirito might show us what the rest of Escape holds. We'll see if they ditch out after Uncle too.
Magic on the tree pole.
Yeah, that must have been the tier 2.
So that was hearts, magic, and arrows. Fortunately, no bombs.
Yeah, not what you're typically.
Fairies or. The small magic's kind of useful if you're. But, I mean, yeah, potions.
Yeah, both arrows and small magic. Useful, like, in a pinch items, but, like, not the best thing that you're hoping for when you're checking those tree poles.
Yeah, it's very likely they won't be going back to a tree pole again for the rest of the game.
Carnath going for bomb strats here. Has one heart left. So
Nice, threw it back up top at that one guard.
Oh, and he falls in the pit and takes a death. Right after that nice double, too.
Yeah, that mini Trolldorm cave is tricky when all you've got's bombs.
Yeah, it's not easy. Looks like he's going to go right after it again with 5 bombs now.
Which doesn't afford you many misses.
Yeah, I suppose he doesn't really have much other option other than to go straight to Sahasrara since he doesn't have 50 rupees to buy more.
Yep. There's Sahasrara. They could turn in that mushroom, actually, which is open.
Looks like Kirito's making an early desert play.
Yep, probably going to check the ledge and the Gina's cave. I like to do that early. Just get it out of the way. Know if there's anything important on that ledge.
It is one of those spots people tend to leave till later. So if you get something cool there, like a glove upgrade or a hammer that helps in your early game, then that can really put you significantly ahead.
No, just going straight for a Gina, though. No desert ledge check.
Oh, beautiful bomb strats from Carnath there. Just barely pulling it off with his 5 bombs.
Yep, or no backup bomb to get into Ice Cave, though, unless you get some in here.
That's
Ooh,
true.
big
Maybe
key to Eastern and a Gina's cave.
first big key to GT. Get that out of the way. Oh, he's got the bombs. Bailed out again.
Oh, that was a big key to GT on the guy there?
Yeah, on Carnath, yep.
Oh, actually walking out of a Gina's cave. That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess it's it might not be clear, and I'm not 100% sure which is faster to save and quit or to go to the lake, you know, or whether it's faster to walk there. My instinct is that save and quit. Oh, he's going to the dam.
He didn't do the dam before going to Agina's. I usually do the dam, go to Agina's, and then save and quit from there.
Yeah, not totally clear which one's faster. My instinct is to say save and quit from the cave. I think that might be slightly.
Yeah, I'm almost positive save and quitting out of Agina is faster in most cases.
Carnath exiting. Looks like he's gonna fake flip.
I missed that. What was in Ice Cavern there?
I can't remember, but it must have been. I think it was a compass. Kirito also going for bomb strats on the mini Moldor, and we'll see how much luck he has. Carnath doing their fake flip setup here. It's a little hard without the sword if you're used to the bush strats. I think he's got the pixel right.
Yeah, it looked like he had it there.
One real gotcha with these fake flipper here, if you're lining up on the pixel particularly, your instinct is to hold a diagonal input, but that will cancel the fake flip. So you have to hold straight left in order to trigger the screen transition.
Yeah, I think he is holding diagonals because that again looked like the pixel for sure.
Yeah, I think they're on it. We'll see. But before I learned that trick, it was easier for me to do it from the left side. Okay, he's got it. It looks like was that Quake on the island there?
I missed it. I was distracted for a second. We'll see if Kirito does it. We did see library was Bombo, so yeah, it was either Quake or Ether.
See what the hobo has for us today. Big key, Swamp Palace. Okay, all right. Just opens up one location. It's not the big key that you're looking for, but it can be kind of a relief to find those particular big keys, because they can kind of troll you later on to leave this isolated chest in a dungeon.
Yeah, I always
full cleared.
hate having to leave those one chests behind, because if you find the item later on, you always get that nagging feeling that, crap, is something in there? Am I going to have to go make a trip all the way back into that dungeon for that one chest?
Absolutely. The big ones, I think, the hugest one of all is probably the extra TR small key, quote unquote extra. But then Swamp Palace big key, Ice Palace big key, Skullwoods big key, and then Thieves Town small key are all locations that you can very easily isolate and mess yourself up that way. Carnath going for the water walk glitch. Gonna see what's in the Waterfall Ferry.
Mercy.
Kirito choosing to save and quit from the hobo instead of doing fake flip, so missing out on their book. If there is progression in Desert, this will be a double dip for Kirito. So we'll see if Carnath chooses to go there next. Hammer!
Hammer on the ledge.
That's some great intelligence to have. He can't do anything about that quite yet. They'll need either the actual flippers, or they'll need boots and knowledge of how to water walk with the boots in order to get that.
Does water walking actually let you get that far? I thought the drop down on the ledge after Zora himself ruined that.
Yeah, actually, it's a fairly new glitch. I think that's been discovered, or at least popularized, as recently as September. But there's a way that you can trigger a water walking state and that you can save it. And you can actually chain it with other water walking states. So the way that you would set that up with boots, let's see what's on Sahashala first. Oh, all the hints to Desert.
That's a good one to find. Because that locking off those two chests. Desert's a weird one like that, because you got two keys that are locked behind the one small key. You got the big chest and the boss item that are locked behind the big key. And then those other two items that are left, one of them is locked behind the boots. So without any of those items, going into Desert is really hard to make worth it.
Yes, and I must have missed this before, but Agana and Agana's Cave had the Eastern Palace big key, so it looks like...
Yeah, I mentioned that one when Kirito hit it up earlier.
Oh,
it was right. It was at the exact same time that Carnath was in the Moldarm Cave there, getting the Ganon's Tower big key. So.
Oh, yeah. So Carnath heading into Desert now, seeing a small key on the ledge. So they're going to go into Desert and clear the two items that are available to them. But Kirito has the other piece of the puzzle, which is the small key. So we'll see if Kirito ends up going to Waterfall Ferry. Still not in the logic to go here yet, because I believe they picked the book up in the waterfall. So unless there are flippers
that is a sequence break here.
So yeah, the water walking glitch, how that works is if you're in an underworld, one of the ways to trigger it is if you're in an underworld cave, such as the Ice Rod Cave, and you dash near a pit, then it saves a water walking state. And there's a little bit of technique involved, and you can't press left or right when you do it. And then when you walk out, if you fall off of a ledge that faces south, you'll be in the water walking state. So you can combine that with the water walk from the Waterfall Ferry using the Moon Pearl to get access to that Zora ledge. But all that
so that wasn't too big of a sequence break.
Yeah, the logic is giving very clear hints that Desert is where we need to go. Each of them haven't done a dip. Neither of them finding anything quite yet. So we'll see if Kirito goes after this clear.
That means Kirito will be able to get the hammer, though, when he goes up there.
Oh, yeah, get that all in one go. Of course, Carnath has the knowledge that the hammer's up there, so we still might see them go up there first.
And he is going into Eastern now, so he should get those flippers. Or possibly into Eastern. He's going to Saraswell at least here.
I think apart from Eastern, I don't think that anything else is open to them.
I don't think either of them have been to the Hyrule Castle dungeon yet.
That's right, the escape dungeon, yep.
I don't think they've turned in Mushroom yet either. Karnath has that. I don't think he's been up there. Or did I miss it when he... No, because he went Waterway. So yeah, they still have the Mushroom to turn in too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Carnath might be thinking about, they both might be thinking about turning that in after Eastern. We just got the TR big key on Kirito's screen in Eastern. I like to use the cape here. It's smart if you don't want to take damage.
Yeah, it's not like you can see yourself anyways in the dark.
And it looks like without a sword to light their way, oh, they picked up the small key. They found it.
Yeah, those dark rooms are tricky without a... I mean, the blue boomerang is a decent one to ping yourself around with. Doesn't stall you like the hookshot does. Or the hammer.
And last chest in Eastern here, and then we'll actually have we checked the big? I think Kirito did check the big chest on their way. So after this, we'll know for sure whether or not it's escape or desert next. I'd like to use bomb strats to clear this room of the enemies and get a lucky 8-bomb pickup from one of those noodler enemies. They have a green potion. They could refill their magic and just use a cape to avoid damage there if they don't know the quick way to damage through to that pot. But they might be electing to save that just in case they need it for something else.
I think he was worried about health. He only had like, I think 3.5 hearts, and unless you do it perfectly, that's sometimes not enough.
Yeah, I don't blame them. That can be a punishing trick if you fail it. Oh, I missed that Thieves Town small key that Carnath just picked up. One of those other items that can troll you if you get it later after you've cleared the dungeon.
Yep.
Bomb strats on a green Igor. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. Oh no, takes a death right before picking up the
Karnath
chest.
doesn't have the Eastern big key yet. Or he skipped the big chest anyways.
Oh, he might be doing vanilla strats, but I'm pretty sure they did pick up the Eastern big key, because I think that was in Agnes Cave, wasn't it?
They haven't been to Agnes. Oh no, they did. Yeah, they went there. So yeah, he should have that. I don't see on the tracker here. He skipped it. He ran past the big chest in the room there.
Yeah, so if you're used to running this game in standard or open modes, you might normally route the big chest after grabbing this key here, or this chest location here. So hopefully he'll remember.
Right, yeah, you do kind of have to come through here twice anyways. See, yeah, he was trying to go for the damage boost and started to run low on the hearts. Notice he was down to 2 and backed out from trying to lift that pot anymore. Oh, Boomerang actually does damage to those guys. Interesting.
Yeah, little known fact. It can be a little irritating if you're expecting to stun them, but it's a great backup in this case where he has 2 bombs left trying to kill all the enemies.
Yeah, and you got to take the suicide damage to make sure they hit. Oh, don't get hit by one of those to finish you off. That would be bad.
Yeah, we've seen what happens. So it looks like either must not have grabbed the big key, and I might be mistaken, or forgot that they had it to check that big chest.
Yep.
Looks like Kirito's setting up to not fake flip, to normal flip to the Zora area.
Yep, and we'll probably find and get his hammer there.
And that'll be 2/3 reloaded.
Maybe? No? Changing his mind.
Oh, almost heading to Witch, but had a better thought. . 'Cause 2/3 reloaded. Oh, almost heading to Witch, but had a better thought. 2/3 reloaded. 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 2/3 Yeah, 2/3 of the way now. Once we pick up that hammer to Dark World access, we just need a glove upgrade. Oh no! Kirito save and quits after he got the book. He said, "That's my hint. I'm getting out of here."
Damn.
So missing out on that hammer.
I mean, he doesn't have the rupees. Probably didn't want to go all the way around through Zora, but
Yeah, I can totally understand that, like wanting to hit those things up together, but you're so close at that point, you know.
you gotta at least go in and check the ledge. And seeing an item of such importance as the hammer, I mean, you don't have a permanent weapon yet at this point. That would be great for you right now.
Right, exactly. Of course, as far as Kirito knows, it might be like a single rupee drop or
There's
something.
Karnath turning in his mushroom.
And oh, this is really good routing here because it looks like he's going to go from here up to pick up his hammer.
Oh, yes, probably. Yep, big 20 for the mushroom.
Oh, but opts to save and quit as well.
Oh, not going back for the hammer. I guess he wants to wait for his rupees too. So what's that leave them?
Yeah, I'm trying to think the same. Well, he can go back into desert and check the small key door, which he couldn't do before. He has escape left, and also, of course, the hammer. I mean, at this point, I can understand this play. At this point, you're missing, you only have 1/3, other than the hammer, of the items you need to access the Dark World. So you know that there's progression somewhere else. If you can delay it and you pick up a 300 rupee along the way, that's your money. You can check both locations at once.
And now that he has the Desert Palace key, I'm sure, yeah, he's heading back to Desert, so he's going to check those 2 runes out there. And
yeah, very close. Very similar decisions from our runners.
not to see, just giving you a whole lot of options to look at.
Still interesting that they both did an early dip to Desert. It's something you don't see very often. And interesting also that they're not opting to grab the hammer now. Very similar play.
Well, Kirito doesn't even know it's there yet.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Yeah, different information, same play. Let's see what's going to be behind the...
Caught by the antlion. Carnath looking a little low on hearts.
Kirito's just going to barely beat them. Oh, big key. That was a vanilla big key.
That was... Yup.
Oh, but Kirito doesn't have enough bombs left to kill the noodlers, so... Is that a save and quit from Carnath? Oh, same problem. They realized I don't have bombs, I bet.
Could be, yeah. Not a whole lot of options here.
I bet they're heading back now to grab that hammer because they're thinking, you know what, I could use that weapon after all.
Yeah, that's probably what Karnath's thinking right now for sure. Oh, and we got a glove.
There it is. That's the third piece we need. Kirito opting to save and quit there instead of going to try to go to Landless, of course, because they don't have a fire source. But didn't pick up that small key on the ledge, I believe. So just missing one piece of the puzzle here for Kirito.
Left that key on the ledge there. Looks like he's heading up the mountain, though.
Yeah, could be mountain, could be sick kid. Yeah, mountain.
Yeah, looks like Karnath's going to take the whirlpool and get that hammer. And then probably head back into desert, because I don't think he's got anywhere else left. Either that or escape. Maybe he'll make that play.
Yeah, I can totally understand this play from Kirito here to continue delaying that check. Because as far as he knows, Zora is in the logic at this point, so that might be the progression. In which case, why go up there 3 times when you can go?
Yeah,
up there twice?
exactly. A 300 rupee drop could be anywhere, including a couple locations on the mountain here. Old Man might have it. Spectacle Rock might have it.
Making his way through the dark room here using the Bloomerang echolocation.
Yeah, it looks a little lost.
I think he just got it.
Yeah, that's probably the room. No, maybe not. There we go. Bomb upgrade from the old man.
And Carnath getting his second piece of the puzzle. We'll see if they go right back for desert now, or if they choose to do escape first. He's making the choice. What's from Sanctuary here? What could he be heading towards right now with just a hammer?
Maybe back into town for Bottle Kid.
Oh yeah, sick kid. Maybe gonna farm some rupees at Blindset while he's up here, just in case Zora has it.
I don't know if he farm all the way to 500. There'd be 10 trips down into that basement.
Yeah, it would take quite a lot of time.
He might do escape. Either that or he's got to go back into... He got the... No, he didn't get the big key. Oh, he's buying bombs.
A magic powder pickup here from Kirito.
Did he check the sick kid?
Kirito?
No,
or Carnath.
Carnath, yeah.
Oh, I think Carnath skipped the sick kid.
Yeah, he just walked right by it there and went to the bomb shop. I guess he's going back to desert.
They did pick up the bottle somewhere in Kakariko, so he might have actually checked sick kid at some point.
Oh, did they already do that? Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe I saw Kirito doing that, so I'm assuming Carnath did as well at some point.
Kirito, I guess, deciding he needs more bombs before he heads into the escape.
Oh, that's right, because they don't have their hammer yet. Pulling his bombs out makes me think maybe he's going to try to go for the bombable hut here.
Graveyard.
Are you setting up for a... Oh, no, he's looking in the back.
Escape chest, yeah. Back of escape, that's the word.
I thought for a second he might be setting up for Chris Houlihan.
Yeah, actually, well, no, they've got the flippers now, so that makes that a lot harder to set up.
Well, you can set it up with a bomb, Pod Smell Key, and Blue Mail helps a lot. You can set it up with a bomb against the graveyard pit like that. One of the many ways that you can mess with the screen coordinates to trigger the Houlihan glitch.
Right, yeah. Oh, big key to Dark Palace.
A couple of hints leading there. Of course, early keys for Pod are pretty common, just considering how many of them there are. Each of them missing that one piece of the puzzle. Yeah, so we have now seen everything that is available to them without having Dark World access. So Hammer, we know for sure, is required for Kirito. Otherwise, they might be able to find Titan's Myth somewhere. But in this case, that's not so. And of course, the Power Glove is required for Carnath.
They do have the cape. They could get into Agnes Tower. And they have a key, so both of those rooms are available if they can do the Dark Room.
Oh, good point. That's 2 chests right there. Carnath making what we know to be the right play, going back for that the small key door in desert.
Yeah, now that he's got bombs, and he's checking the ledge here too, so hopefully he'll get that key. Looks like Kirito's headed to escape.
We'll see. Yeah, Kirito might choose to take a death warp here as well and check Aga's tower before moving on.
Yeah, or the dark escape room. There's also that chest.
Yeah, that's right. And without the sword, without a lamp, it's a little hard to see your way in the dark. But we've seen already that Kirito's not afraid of dark rooms, so maybe we'll see that from them.
Yeah, and the dark escape dark rooms are not that hard. If you can do the Eastern Palace dark rooms, escape shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, the biggest thing that might catch you up there is the enemies, which can damage you before you find your way. But with 7 hearts and blue mail, I think Kirito will be okay. Carnath picking up their third piece of the puzzle with their power glove there in the desert. And it looks like they are going for the small key before heading off into the dark world. So if you're Carnath and you're heading into the dark world, do you go, which way do you go? Do you go like Hype Cave or Village of Outcasts, or what would you do first?
Yeah, the route I usually take when I first got Dark World access is, yeah, I hit up that swamp area portal, do Hype Cave, and because I've got the hammer, I'd at least check the pyramid at this point. Like, I'd go northeast from there and do up pyramid and maybe towards Quakefish if I had the mirror to get back to Zora if I needed anything in that direction. But yeah, I'd probably check at least pyramid, and then probably save and quit and go back to the Village of Outcast side of things.
Yeah, a little interesting here. Carnath heading up to Landmilla, but it's going to get a rude awakening when you realize that they don't have any fire source to open up the door. I've definitely done that before.
He's about to figure that out. Maybe he wanted to get all the doors opened. Oh, yeah, grab the key and save and quit. I think he realized at that last door there.
Yeah, I thought about the next room. Okay, starting in Sank, looks like he's going to head towards Village of Outcasts to get in the Dark World. Or he might do Back End of Escape, because he hasn't done that yet either.
Yeah, that's... looks like what's next for him.
Uh-oh. Always hate to see this in Keysanity, someone looking at their menu or at their map. I think Kirito may be forgetting about the ledge item.
Yeah, that's, I think, the only place he hasn't been yet.
We didn't see him go up to Castle Tower, but yeah, but other than those two places...
And Castle Tower.
Dark Link getting not the blue mail, but the blue belt, apparently. I think he's realized. It looks like he's heading towards Zora now. And Carnath, meanwhile, oh, I see, heading this way towards... I think maybe they thought for a second about doing Death Mountain and changed their mind. Oh no, Kirito at the menu. He hit select and that my heart jumped a beat. There it is. He sees his prize on the ledge there. Oh, looks like we're gonna get an early pedestal check.
Yep, this will be nice to know.
Oh, boots!
Interesting.
What? What are those? Carnath a little
And we
frustrated.
did have Bombos in the library. So this may be a
Aha.
pedestal required seed. What do we got for... I guess we found out Eastern Palace was green pendant. That's all we know
That
so
might be all
far.
we know, because I haven't seen a map check.
Yeah, there hasn't been one of those yet either.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess if you're in this position, it's a hard decision to make about whether or not you then go into pendant at this point, because you know you're going to be rewarded with boots if you do all of them, but you have no idea whether or not that's required even, so...
Yeah. Gonna check out some of the Skull Woods chest on Karna's side here. Kirito making his dark escape.
Using some cape strats to get around those enemies on Karnath's side. The third pod, Small Key. So Karnath has opted to drop down the pit.
Sword!
Oh, hey! Has a celebratory slash against that Gibdo. They're choosing to drop down the pit even though they have an extra small key. A couple of extra small keys, actually. This can be nice and useful and allow you to save some magic on your way towards Mothula eventually to go in the back door. But otherwise, it can just be kind of like an automatic thing. Like you're just used to it from doing open and standard mode to drop down that pit.
Okay, I think Kirito has found the area with the chest here. He's just trying to find it.
A little difficult to do, especially when you don't have the sword.
Yeah, not having a sword does, yeah. So I think that snake is getting in his way a bit here too.
Well, getting more of a Village of
I think
Outcasts.
got it.
Oh, he must have.
Got a small key to Turtle Rock in the village there.
I didn't see anything different in his item menu, so it must have been like a bomb upgrade or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice if more of those items showed up. At least if it's a key or a map, you get the text box.
Kirito choosing to do the Hype Cave check. This might allow him to catch up here if there's some good progression. Still really early to say things like catch up because there's all sorts of stuff that can happen in this season.
Yeah, no, it's not even an hour in yet. A whole bunch of time for stuff to change. There's our second key to Castle Tower.
And big key to Tower of Hera. I believe that's all the big keys for the Light World so far.
Yep.
Otherwise, no worth in Hype Cave today, just 300.
That's Zora money. You go back and check that.
That's true. Got a map check. Looks like Skull Woods is a crystal. And he thought about going up to the bomb merchant, maybe buying more bombs, maybe checking the red crystal, but he changed his mind here.
Yeah, I would have gone for the red crystal knowledge, but that's another thing I do after checking height K before I head towards pyramid.
Yeah, not a
At least when
bad
I
idea.
remember to.
It takes time, and the thing is you might get that intel in other ways. You might beat the dungeon in the normal course of things anyway. You might get a map, but always nice to know that intel is there for you.
Yeah, I mean, usually wind up with 1 or 2 Dark World maps before you get Dark World access anyways, so checking the map when you get there first thing might have that red crystal information for you, so it does make it a lot less worthwhile if you have knowledge of 1 of 2 crystals already.
Yeah, our player's kind of syncing up here a little bit. Carnath is going to be heading towards Kirito, as Kirito has to save and quit unless they get the mitts here. So in terms of options after this, looks like things are fairly limited. We haven't seen a powder turn in. That could be something that they do.
Oh, they did get powder. Where was that? I missed that.
It was one of the last chests that were checked before they got their Dark World access. I forget the location. Oh, it looks like only Kirito has it though. So it must have been.
Unless it was from Tree Boy here that I missed.
No, I think he got it before entering the Dark World. He got it before he got his hammer, in fact. Still hasn't got his sword because he hasn't gone to Skull yet. In fact, hasn't been in this direction of the Dark World at all. So picking up some more bombs here, pretty good idea. Maxime thinks
actually made use of this hut several times now. Probably a good investment as far as instead of having to go buy bombs.
Especially when you've got that Zora money you don't want to get rid of.
That, yeah, especially when you're trying to hold on to Zora money.
Looks like Maximini remembered that the powder was at Spectacle Rock, inside Spectacle Rock, and yeah, I remember that now too.
Okay, yeah, I missed that upper check there.
Carnath hasn't yet gone up to Death Mountain. So right now, it's a good safety item, otherwise it only unlocks 1 location, so it's not very significant unless they find something at Batcave like mitts or mirror, some good mid-game item.
Looks like Carnath is heading up the Northeast Dark World.
Great idea. You've got 3 pod small keys. You've got a big key. And then there's this couple of overload locations up here too, like Pyramid and Catfish. Kirito opting to ignore Skull Woods for now, maybe hoping to get a Fire Rod before they go there. But unfortunately going to miss out on their fighter sword.
Yeah, finding the sword in those early chests to Skullwood is pretty big.
Yeah, luckily they have another weapon, so the only thing that'll absolutely keep them from doing is defeating Aghanim, which at this point we know Aga's dead, getting into Skull, which they don't want to do right now anyway. And I believe that's it, other than, once you get sword upgrades, being able to...
Big key on the pyramid, Ice Palace.
There's that other isolated one. Still can't get into Ice Palace yet without the mitts or...
A lot of our big keys. We're only missing 3 big keys now.
Yeah, it's insane the number of bid keys we got an early start here.
We're missing Skullwoods, Thieves, and Mire. And we don't even need that Skullwoods one technically, unless something's in that big chest.
Let's do a little bit of pedestal theory crafting here, since we know it's boots. And did you say that library was Bombos? Is that correct?
Yes.
So it could very well be that Bombos is required for either Ice Palace, Misery Mire, or Total Rock, in which case, as long as those dungeons aren't pedestal dungeons, pendant dungeons, pedestal could be required. As well as, of course, Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, and other areas that are boots.
I mean, could also be pendant dungeons, because if you've got the fire rod, you can still do. If we find the fire rod somewhere, I should say, we could still do Ice Palace, and it could be one of the other medallions for Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
There wasn't anything important on the torch in Desert, so Desert could still be a pendant.
Yeah, I think the major boots locked possibilities right now are GT Torch, which would be a little convoluted. How would you even get there?
Well, we've got the GT Big Key, and if we find one of those 4 GT Small Keys anywhere, we don't even need to go into the basement, so that would become irrelevant real quick.
Well, it could still technically be required if it was hookshot on torch or bow on torch.
True. Yeah. Could have some. That depends on bow being in Ganon's Tower. Depends on what crystals are in what dungeons.
Absolutely, yes. Which we don't have that
You need
intel
bow
quite
for a
yet.
few of them.
Yeah, so it could be, but it still could be torch. We don't know. Pedestal could be required for torch. It could be also required for Bonkrok's King's Tomb, or if Bombos is required, then pedestal will be required.
Looks like Karnath is going to take a dip into Palace of Darkness.
Good play. I think at this point, nothing else is open to them other than the Death Mountain check. I might be wrong about that. Oh, and there's that one chest in Skullwoods he could have got, but he turned away before grabbing it. Kirito going to Zora. So not very open seed so far, pretty close. You don't have many options. I'm guessing that the next item they get is going to be myths, something that opens the seed wide up.
Oof, no bow. Looks like we're going to have to open that front middle door here in the pod.
Which means that 5 small keys will be required for full clear, unless they can hammer jump. I believe that when I watched Kirito before, I don't think he hammer jumped, so he might not know that tech yet, but we'll see if Karnath does. Fire Rod!
There's our Fire Rod.
So if Karnath's brave enough for Fighter Sword Moth, he might be going there next.
Is an option.
Or I guess he could use that fire source on Desert Palace, do a clear of Landmilla.
Ooh, there's your bow.
Oh, wow. Palace of Value.
Yep. Opting to navigate this dark room instead of trying his luck with the fire rod on the torch.
Yeah, so he has the Eastern Palace Big Key, so he might also opt to fully clear that.
Yeah, I could head back into there.
Which will, it's not a crystal dungeon, but it will give him 2 items. One that's behind Armos Knights, and then it's a green pendant, so he'll get an item from Sahashral as well.
Ooh, spends his last key on the mini hellway for flute. Interesting.
Oh, that might pay off.
Yep, I think that does pay off.
If he wraps around, now it looks like he's saving quitting, so he might not
the hammer jump.
A little bit of a gamble there to decide to go to the harmless hellway instead of the dark room if you don't know the hammer jump. But it could also be that because that dark maze can be a little bit troubling in the dark, that was just the best option that was available to him. But in any case, it's going to pay off, at least in terms of being able to get him to places quicker.
Yep.
And he hasn't gone up to Death Mountain yet, so he'll be able to... Oh,
Yeah, that will save him some time getting up Death Mountain.
oh I thought I saw Mitts for some reason on Kirito's screen, but that was the big key that we've seen before.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can't quite get into minor access. So the flute alone doesn't unlock any locations to them, although it does put Death Mountain into the logic, since they don't have lamp. It was not yet in the logic.
Yeah, it does open up Death Mountain a little bit.
So at this point, because we've seen quite a lot of what's available to them, it's becoming more and more likely that the Batcave is a progression item of some type.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much left here. There is Bumper Cave. Did somebody check that? What that was? I don't think anybody's been up there.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that yet. And actually, we didn't do pod right side. Carnath didn't do that after they got their boat.
Oh, no, yeah, he could have gone back. He could have done that and didn't.
So I'd say there's probably about 10 items left, including Magic Bat.
I think Spike Cave is technically open too. You have the cape and the bottle and the hammer. So they should be able to Spike Cave have open as well.
Yeah, they updated the logic recently, but I think it used to be that it required like something like Magic Cape and Half Magic, but they might have updated that if you have a bottle.
I think a bottle will let you get through it either way.
Yeah, even if it's a sequence break, you can still get through it. Oh, you mean the logic will let you get through it?
I think so.
So Kirito also now heading down to pod. They're going to get their bow, and we'll see what they go after this. Carnath just playing a little bit of catch up here with something that Kirito's already found, and Kirito likewise catching up with Carnath. Pretty close game still, hour in.
Yeah, very close, other than Carnath's got the slight lead on already having done his pod dip, but I think Kirito's done everything else that Carnath's done.
Yeah, in fact, I think that Kirito might have done a bit more, because did we see escape from Carnath?
You're right, I don't think so. So, yeah,
which is a part of why Kirito seems a little bit behind, but assuming Carnath is going to have to go into the escapement himself, then that might give Kirito an opportunity to catch up. Still, anytime you're minutes away in a Keysanity seed and you're an hour in, that's pretty close. Yeah. Doing a light world, dark world high five right now.
With the fire rod, though, that does open up killing Mothula and Desert Palace, so I think those are the two directions we gotta... Oh, there's the bow, too. Although without the torch, that's not really in the logic, being able to kill Eastern.
Yeah, with so many potential options open to you, it's particularly, Mothula, which may be a crystal. Oh, no, it is a crystal. We know for sure. I don't know that Carnath knows that, or if that was just Kirito's map check. I don't think they've checked their map, but we know for sure that Mothula is a crystal, and I believe Carnath knows for sure that this is a pendant dungeon. A little bit interesting choice to decide to come to what you know is a pendant dungeon first, but if you're not completely confident, 100% on your fighter sword Mothula, then this is a really solid choice to delay having to do that fight until you absolutely have to.
Yeah, putting off Mothula until you're a bit better equipped is something I do.
Ooh, Carnath passing the big chest again. We know it doesn't have value, but still.
Yeah, that's using the fire rod for light. But yeah, I don't know why he's not grabbing that big chest. That's
It might be open standard mode, kind of, you know, memory, muscle memory that's happening here. Or maybe not even looking to see that it hasn't been opened yet, assuming that because it's been here before, again, because of open and standard mode.
right.
In open,
yeah.
if you've already dipped Eastern, you don't need to check the big chest because you will have already checked it. Ooh,
Titan
mitts!
in pod.
Oh, that was
That
another
was-
location.
Yeah, that was a location that Carnath could have gotten to that he didn't backtrack and go to. So this is interesting.
Yes, and he got another small key to pod. So you know that key might take him back into pod sooner rather than later. Which
Oh, was that a
be
key
good
to
for him.
pod on Armos Knights?
And almost nights, Kirito's still without their flute though. I mean, that's a gamble to do that harmless hellway. It might be a while before Kirito gets that themselves. So we've got kind of a lopsided match all of a sudden, where Kirito has the mitts; those can be extraordinarily helpful, and Carnath has the flute.
Just a piece of heart from Sarasrala.
Ooh, Kirito heading towards the Village of Outcasts with that fire rod. He's also got those mitts, so he could be doing something like hammer pegs, magic bat, save and quit smiths, but we'll see what he decides to do here.
Yeah, it does open up that smithy area.
He heads north. He's going for a fire sword Mothula fight.
Well, I got the fire rod and the hammer, really, but
Yeah, that's true. Hammer strike, it's very difficult because of that hitbox.
Yeah, that hitbox is short, but it's still a lot better than trying to fighter sword, because that's a lot of hits with the fighter sword.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's 8 hits with fighter spins, in fact, or it's 16 hits with slashes.
Right.
On the speed gaming restream that Kirito's capable of doing it with Greendale, so we'll see. Meanwhile, Carnath heading back to pod, which is great. Maybe they'll pick up their mitts this time and also check the right side, which I don't believe Kirito checked right side either. Oh, he didn't go deep enough to get the bow, did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't get his bow.
I think he was missing some pod small keys that Carnath had. Like he just picked up one there in Skull Wood, so he might have been a little cautious about going that deep in the pod. Yeah, Carnath now getting their mitts. And looks like they are setting up to go right side. So at this point, Ice Palace is in logic. So we know that with the Fire Rod, we know that boots will be required for Bombos on Library to get into Ice Palace. So that's one mark off for the pedestal option. So I'll have 3 choices left, though. Actually 5, considering the boot locked areas we haven't seen. And here's that chest Carnath skip. We'll see if it's useful. It's just some bombs. Okay, Carnath going straight for Helmsort. Now, it is possible to key lock yourself here. There are 2 locations that are locked by a small key. Maybe he's thinking about it. Okay, so he doesn't waste his small key. In this version of the logic, there is a way to key lock yourself if you go straight to Helma.
He must not be comfortable with the dark room at all, because that key could have opened up the dark room with the 2 chests and the big chest key. Or the big chest.
If you're not very familiar with that maze, that can be very difficult. You can waste a lot of time in there.
It is a pretty difficult dark room.
Yeah, it's a bit easier if you have like a map printed out or pulled up on your computer, but even then it can cause you some problems. I think in general that's a wise play. Like, know your limits, you know, like know what you're capable of doing easily.
You definitely don't want to go into a race and think, oh, I've seen people do this dark room, it can't be that hard, and waste, 2, 3, 5 minutes in a dark room that you don't wind up completing successfully.
Yeah, I've definitely been there myself.
I mean, even if you do, and it turns out to be an item that, wasn't worth your time.
Did you happen to catch what the Batcave was?
I missed that. No, damn it.
Dang it. Wasn't anything in the item menu anyway. And Kirito is going on towards Moth, using some hammer strats here to clear these Gibdos as opposed to using magic.
Yeah, I guess you want to save all the magic for Mothula himself. You don't have Bombos to take him out easy. If you were to clear him out with the Fire Rod, that would be half your magic gone. And there are the 2 small pots there, but you gotta take another 3 shots to light those torches, so...
Exactly.
I think it only leaves you with, I think, maybe 3 shots for Mothula.
Yeah, well, we do have to remember that he does have some green goo in his bottle there, so if he remembers that as well.
Yeah, that'll help. Not much for life to back him up, though.
Carnath checking a thing that Kirito can't yet without their Titan's mitts, without their flute, which is the Mire area checkerboard cave.
Yep, nothing but a heart. Looks like he'll take it.
Ooh, that was very close. That was great though. That little poke.
Mirror, where did he find that?
Oh, that must have been Mire Shed.
Oh, maybe, yeah, he must have checked that beforehand, going over there, and... Huh.
So now all these chests open up to Carnath on Death Mountain, and taking a big lead while Kirito takes a fall in Skull Woods. Looks like he's going to try to get some more magic and health in this room before trying Mothula again. Ooh, gets a very fortunate full magic drop from one of those buzz blobs.
Yeah, there's only 2 mini magic pots in this room.
Oh, getting some tips from chat that Mirror was a bat, so that was the item we missed.
Oh, that was what we missed. Whoops.
Yeah, we got the validation arrow from Ether Tablet, and Kirito got grabbed by a Wall Master, so just making his way back up through Skull Woods now. I didn't see them use their green potion on Mothula last fight, though, so they might still have that. Oh no, it's empty right now. Oh, grabbed in the same spot by Wallmaster. It's so tempting, like, a part of you is like, should I turn back and do something else right now? We know that for them, pod would be the right play, or one of the right plays. There might be others, but it's so tempting to just continue.
Yeah,
Because
I
if
don't want to have to double track more than you.
yeah, and if
double back
if
on
there is
yourself more than you
progression
need to.
behind Mothula, then you'll be kicking yourself for having left before you could grab it. Ooh, almost gets knocked into another Wallmaster. Carnath doing the vanilla strats to get to the big chest.
For red mail.
Red eyes, red belt. Whipping out the magic cape. We might see fighter sword spins with cape instead of hammer strats on Moldorm right now. Can't be trolled if you're invincible. Double boss fight. Oh, Kirito, one hit left. Oh, laser beam to the face.
Yeah, Mafia is hard without any health safeties. Either a fairy or a red potion.
Ooh, Cane of Samaria from Carnath at
that's huge.
Tower of Hera. Yeah. So at this point, for a Misery Mire clear, just missing that big key. Otherwise, they could also choose to dip TR. Right, and Ether. We would need Ether to get into the dungeon. And a medallion for TR as well. Which, who knows? Maybe it's Bombos. Maybe this will be the pedestal requirement. Right now, it's our only hope for pedestal requirement is TR, Bombos. It would be GT Torch, something like Hookshot or Bow, or something that's required in Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb. I think of those, probably Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb would be the most trolly because you would definitely check everything else before you went to go finish off those pedestal dungeons.
Yeah. I don't know. Boots are a pretty worthwhile item. I mean, if you don't have much options and wind up, just clearing dungeons that you can clear, although it is starting to open up a bit now.
Yeah, particularly for Carnath. Kirito still has kind of a closed, narrow seed until they choose to return to go to pod or maybe find another item elsewhere. Seeing some new stuff from Carnath, though, and Kirito heading to get their mirror. This would be interesting. We might see... I don't think we saw Purple Chest and Smiths from Carnath.
No, I don't think any of that's been done. Only powder. There's a small key to Ganon's. Another small key to Ganon's. So we're good on Ganon Tower keys. We'll be able to see what's in TR. Kirito getting his mirror.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what's open for Kirito at this point, other than pod and these Smith's Purple Chest moves right now.
I think he can do Desert.
That's right. He can finish off Desert. Can't do Eastern because he didn't grab his bow in pod. Now he can go up to Hera actually and do what Carnath is doing right now. Small key on Floating Island. And we're about to find out if pedestal is required. We won't know for sure if it's dead, but we could know for sure if it's required.
Quake.
Oh. So that, I believe, was on the Hylia Island. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe that's what we saw there. And they have the mirror and flippers, so they can grab that at any time.
So Carnath choosing to drop down and come up through this cave the standard way. You could also have gone in the door from the top. It's a little bit faster to go that way.
Key in the Hammer Peg Cave to Ganon's Tower. So there's 3 out of the 4 of those. Definitely don't need any more of them.
Anytime I see all those Ganon keys, it just makes me think there's got to be some kind of item that's necessary in Ganon's Tower. Oh, TR is a pendant.
Only got 1 Turtle Rock key though, so it's not quite clearable yet.
Yeah, and he'd have to go pick up that Quake medallion as well.
Bringing the Frogman home. Let's see what the Smith's got.
Looks like Carnath might be making the play to Skull Woods now. Oh, no. He's doing the stuff that Kirito.
Yeah, he's probably going to do this stuff with the mirror now that he can do that real easy. Get a map to Meyer. Let's see what's there. Crystal.
Yeah, I think in this instance where you've got Fighter Sword, you have 3 basic approaches, which are very well. There's a great metaphor with the 3 different Triforces in Zelda. Like you could either do the courageous approach and do what Kirito tried to do. You could do the strength approach. Wait till you get. Or if you have like a better sword, tempered sword or something like that, or you could do the wisdom approach, which is just avoid it until you absolutely are sure you need to do a fighter sword Mothula.
Yeah.
Carnath probably displaying the Zelda Triforce of Wisdom right now.
Ooh, Master Sword in Cave 45. Or a sword upgrade, I should say. We'll see if Carnath finds someone else somewhere else before coming to find that. Kirito having a bit of trouble picking his chest back up there.
It just didn't want to be eaten by Gary. Yeah, that Master Sword can make a huge difference in that off fight. Suddenly, 8 spin slashes turn into 4, which is enormous.
Kirito might check Bombo's tablet while he's here too, hopefully.
Oh yeah, now he's got the power.
But don't do it. Oh, he did it.
Oh, looks like Carnath missing out on Cave 45 because he elected to flute. So no Master Sword.
And Carnath doesn't have a portal there, so he can't check Bombos either.
So Kirito here, heading back to the portal, could either be going to Skull, now that they've got that Master Sword, maybe they feel much more bold, or could be trying to check the Graveyard Ledge right now with that new mirror pickup.
He might be going for that Quake Medallion on Hylia. Nope, never mind. Into Swamp?
Not a bad option. I mean, I don't think they have the Swamp small key, but you can check that first chest inside of Swamp.
Yeah. Never know when that might have something useful in it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to avoid checking those first 2 chests, but in my mind, if that's all that's available to you at that time, it's nice to just treat it like an overworld location. So if it doesn't have anything, you've lost like 45 seconds, just
Yeah,
like
that's
any
true.
other
It's
overworld
not that
location.
hard to check that first chest.
Yeah, but if it is something, then most people will think about it like a dungeon dip, even though it's not really a dip, and they'll avoid it until the very last location. So it can really put you ahead to do an early swamp check like this.
$20.
Yeah, not this time. Yeah, Kirito heading back for round 2. I don't think they picked up a potion though. Without the flute, it's not quite as doesn't seem quite as nice of a thing to go fill up on potions.
Yeah. Ooh, barely dodged that hand. Looks like 10 arrows on Bombos.
So we got some arrow tablets in this game. Taking some damage here in this this Gibdal Hellway, both times through actually, or all 3 times through. Those Gibdos, they hit hard. Hoping, it looks like he might have been fishing for a drop there from the hand, but I don't believe that the Wallmasters are in the drop pool. Okay, round 3, Mothula. Oh, he did pick up a potion. I missed it. It's good news for Kirito.
And he's down.
3rd time's a charm.
So that does leave the big chest still sitting in Skullwoods alone there until they find that big key.
Yeah, another one of those spots that you can kind of inadvertently isolate from yourself. So Carnath still has a couple of overworld locations left to check, but in terms of dungeons, they could do Ice Palace at this point. I believe they're still missing a big key for Thieves Town, though.
Yeah, we are still missing the key for that. They could still finish Desert, too. They've got that still open.
Oh, that's right. So can't use the flute when you're in Zara's domain. It looks like he's going to walk out.
Kirito changing his mind about where he wants to be.
Oh, we might be seeing an Ice Palace play.
That does look like where Carnath is headed, yes. He's got the big key, so we won't have to leave this big chest behind. No small key to make getting the rest of the items in here a bit easier, but they're still accessible.
And without that extra small key as well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that they have to do the bomb jump in order to get to
Yes,
Gold
they
Staff.
will have to bomb jump the hookshot room, yeah.
Yeah, both the hookshot room and then, of course, the normal IPBJ.
Yes, and the regular bomb jump, of course. Kirito gonna check the ether tablet.
Get their validation arrow.
Oh yeah, he didn't check it beforehand. He's actually got the sword now, so he'll just get the item instead. And looks like he'll be clearing out Hera. Minus
Yeah,
the basement chest.
Kirito missing a couple of key progression items here, but those progression items right now aren't unlocking many locations. So both Carnath and Kirito have a lot of the same locations available to them, although of course Kirito is still playing catch up here on Death Mountain with some of the stuff that Carnath has already checked.
Yeah, he's... I mean, the bow and the flute, he's going to need to head back into pod at some point here for those. Because he is going to run out of progression for himself real quick here.
Yep.
Oh, Carnath missed his key. Okay, he's going back for it.
Phew. Well, I guess he can't progress without it.
Yeah, he's kind of locked in this room, but... Yeah, that's a bad key to miss.
Setting up for the bomb jump here. Nice. First shot. Kirito also opting to do vanilla big chest check. The only other option you have here is a bomb jump, which if you miss it, you fall 2 stories down. So it can be very punishing if you're not absolutely certain you can get it.
Yeah. And it's not that hard of a bomb jump. It's just getting close to that edge. If you step too far, you get sucked into that pit. There goes all the times you might have saved.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to get very close to it. I think it's a 1 pixel margin if you don't have the boots to help you.
It might be a 2 pixel, but it's still pretty close.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 because I've never had that much problem hitting it, but yeah, you still wind up getting 1 pixel too close and down you go. Oh, and Kirito getting troll-dormed.
Bounced right off. They couldn't even land on the platform. Moldorm said, "Not today."
There's another key for dark in ice.
So we haven't seen hammer jump from either of our players, so it could be that we are looking for 6 pod keys, if potentially to full clear that dungeon.
Yeah, well, yeah, if they don't hammer jump, they are going to need 6 because they did open that front door because they didn't have any other options.
Nice hammer strats from Kirito to take Moldorm down.
This is Kane.
And I don't think Carnath went around to go check the right side and Ice-T.
He did not. He left all 4 of those chests unchecked.
Yeah, Ice-T is a little bit that one's a quick check, but I can understand skipping the hook shot jump.
Yeah,
that can be a difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may not be aware that you can drop down and head back up to that same location by going north, even without the big key and the small key. Because those doors don't require keys when you're going through them in reverse, oddly.
Yeah, it's like the game didn't expect you to go through them the other way, so yeah, they basically just didn't put keys on the other side of the door. Or locked doors on the other side of the doorway, I should say.
But Carnath getting there first, or the second crystal actually, with Hera as well. So both runners having 2 crystals of different types. I see. He's going to go in a second time. I'm guessing without the bomb jump to get the right side. It's actually really smart. I mean, if you can't do that hookshot bomb jump, which is very difficult, then this is a great alternative.
Yep, but he save and quits out. Maybe he realized he wasn't familiar with the bomb jump. If you're, I mean, if at that point there's no real reason to go back in just for the iced tea room.
Kirito opting to go in a door you don't normally see people go into when they head into Paradox Cave. But if you're coming from the top side, it actually saves you a bit of time to head right here. You also have to have the mirror, though, to cancel that block.
Yeah.
One of those little time saves that are easy to forget, but can be super cool.
Ooh, we're gonna get Spike Cave check from Carnath here, looks like.
Ooh, Swamp Palace small key. We know that's a crystal, so that is a required item. Or do we know it's crystal? No, sorry, I was looking at something else on the tracker. We don't know whether or not it's a crystal. Still, you might not want to go there just yet without that hook shot.
Yeah, no, that does lock off a lot of your, I mean, you can get at the first few items up to the big chest area, but after that, you start getting cut off.
Yeah, I think because
you can only do one of the left side chests.
You actually can do both by falling down.
Oh,
and,
right, yeah, no, yeah, I forgot about the other drop down.
But it is then turning it into pretty much a double dip when you need to come back and clear the latter half of that dungeon.
Yeah.
So right now there's only I believe 4 items available to Carnath there because they checked that first chest already. 5 items. So probably not the first thing that's on their mind. In fact, we might be seeing a TR dip from them right now. Unless they didn't check Spiral Cave before.
Pretty sure they did. Doesn't get you very far into TR with only 1 key, though.
Yeah, although like Swamp Palace, if you're in the area because of your routing or whatever, it's not a bad idea to check these first few chests because they could be required and again could be put off.
They do have the fire rod on the Keysanity, so that does get them the 2 in the roller room there and that first room chest.
They might be forgetting.
And then the chain chomp room, I think they can still get at too.
Oh, they're getting the small key.
There is a small key on the floating island. Yeah, we'll find out what this is.
I was gonna say, without the boots or the hook shot, what are they doing in here? But
yeah, I was wondering about it for a second, but then yeah, the floating island is a thing, and it's Tahara to the basement.
Ah, both of them getting another high five. Yeah, Max and Minnie, our tracker, who's keeping much better track of items that people have and the requirements of things, reminding us that they cannot dip TR without the Quake, which neither of them has grabbed yet. So.
Oh yeah, they're still leaving that sitting on the island down there.
I think Kirito may be forgetting that he's already checked this tablet. It's the other tablet that's unchecked for them, I believe. Or did they check that one? I think they might have checked that one too, actually.
Already check it. Ooh, Kirito not opting to use his key. He's gonna do the Spike Cave check, I guess.
Which again could be required, so it could be good. Spike Cave is definitely one of those locations that you might forget about or just like leave to the very last.
Yeah, it is kind of out of the way and requires a save and quit out of. Well, it doesn't require it, but it's usually a good idea to.
Yeah, and usually pretty isolated. There's not much you can route along with Spike Cave typically.
Oh, we're gonna death warp out instead of save and quitting. I guess that's slightly faster.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but now I'm interested to go time it. And we haven't seen what's in basement yet, so
Oh, there's our hook shot. So it opens up the rest of Hook Shot Cave, the rest of Swamp.
Yeah, both of those just became very juicy possibilities right now. Did you happen to catch where we found that small key?
Which, the small key for Swamp? That was the one on...
Oh, that was Hylia Island. I meant the one for Tower of Hera. I'm not sure if Kirito has it yet.
The one for Tower of Hera, yeah, that was the one on Floating Island.
Oh, I'm getting them confused. Swamp was in... Yeah, this is why we have trackers, ladies and gentlemen. Or why I definitely need one anyway.
Oh, Kirito dead rocking himself. Yeah, he's got that key. He wants to go check it.
Opting to kill it because he's so mad at it. Carnath remembering that he has to open the dam in order to get inside Swamp.
Yeah, I've done that a few times recently. You just go straight in, keep forgetting you gotta mirror out.
Kirito going for the coffee break. It's a great play by Carnath. A bunch of items available to you now that you have Hookshot. In fact, the entire dungeon, which I believe is it 14 items for this dungeon?
10. And they already got the first one, so 9 left. But yeah, still a pretty good item density. If you can full clear Swamp, it's not a bad one to get out of the way.
Yeah, and I think that's generally like, you know, it's your ABCs, right? And they still apply in Keysanity. Always be clearing. So when you can full clear a dungeon, great idea to go there. So I believe that we saw Kirito get their hookshot as well in the basement.
Not opting to go do a hookshot cave while he was up on the mountain, fortunately. Although I don't think Carnath did either, so.
Yeah, I think they both missed it, which I could understand. Like maybe you're gonna wait and hope that.
Yeah,
or
I
maybe
mean,
you're waiting and you're gonna grab the bombos after you do Swamp here, or Quake, excuse me.
Yeah, because yeah, you might need to come back up to do Turtle Rock there sooner than later.
Yeah, so I might as well chain those two checks together. Yeah, there's nothing that you would want in Swamp. Like you're not looking for a big key. You got the hook shot, so I guess it makes sense to bail there and just go straight for Swamp.
Kirito looks like they're heading into Swamp as well.
Carnath checking left side, almost forgetting that he had that extra small key. Almost did vanilla strap through the left side here.
Kirito does still have 2 keys left for Palace of Darkness. So I hope he remembers he can get back in there and get some more stuff, because there's stuff he needs in there.
Absolutely. Although it's still quite a risk, even with 2 keys. If he would risk it on the Harmless Hellway, still questionable. You know, he might need more keys before he's willing to make that.
Yeah, no, well, Yeah, it's a toss-up as to whether you do the Harmless Hellway or the Vanilla Big Key Chest for that bomb through drop-down door. Those are the two doors you decide on opening that last door with your last key, kind of thing.
And particularly if you don't know if pod's required yet or not, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they don't really know how required it will be.
The final small key to GT, I think that was a frustration slash from Carnath.
Yeah, not a key you need to be seeing at this point. You'll need one out of the 4 of those.
So same dungeon. I mean, it's very similar routing from these folks. Carnath getting fortunate with that Harmless Hellway gamble, and
Ooh,
there's
a lamp.
Yeah, that might bring Kirito back to pod to check the dark maze, which we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that does open up the rest of that. Carnath too, actually. Now that he's got that, he might. I mean, if he does the hammer jump, he could full clear the rest of that.
Yeah, unfortunately, however, that just might make it even less likely that Kirito checks that Harmless Hellway, because he'd rather spend the key now, perhaps, on the Dark Maze.
Yes, that is true. If he leaves the flute locked in there, that could be bad. We do need Mire. Mire is a crystal. There wasn't anything important in the shed or checkerboard cave, though. So it won't make a difference until they actually can get in there, which means they need to find ether.
Yeah, I don't believe that there was any progression in the overworld locations.
More junk in his basement chests for Carnath. I had to double back for that 8 bomb too.
I'm about to get our Argus fight here. Opting for Master Sword slashes. So if you're Carnath at this point, you're just about to finish off Swamp, very obvious play. What are you thinking about next?
What does he have left after that? Hookshot. With the lamp that does fully open up Agana's tower, we could check those 2 chests. They're still sitting there.
Oh yeah, I believe he hasn't checked either of them. On either of them, they're checked them, I believe.
There is still desert waiting to be cleared. Carnath did leave the big chest sitting in Eastern Palace. I hope he remembers that at some point. Although there wasn't anything in it, but he did leave that there.
Yeah, it could be one of those things where he realizes later and then comes all the way back through a 3rd time to Eastern Palace and try to open it. So actually, I hope that he forgets it.
Yeah, at this point, it is probably better that he does forget it. Did either of them check the graveyard ledge chest? They got that opened up now that they got mirror.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
And I don't think either of them checked the bumper cave yet either.
So Swamp is a red crystal. So we have 5 crystals, 2 pendants. So it's just down to Thieves Town and Desert Palace, in which they could check Desert Palace by clearing out the dungeon, which is not a bad idea at this point. It looks like he's opting to go pick up that Quake first.
Yep, finally got our Quake pickup.
I think this is great routing here. Go to Swamp, pick up the island item, come back up. Check Hookshot Cave, maybe dip TR, we'll see.
He's got the hookshot. He should have gone back into Ice Palace and cleared the other 4 chests out of there, but...
Yeah, at this point, I wonder if he's just hoping that it's nothing and it's going to kind of commit to other plays.
Yeah, unless he just remembered. No, he's going back to pod.
He's picked up at least 1 extra pod key since last time he was here, so he could go check Dark Maze. He didn't do right side before, so he could do that again.
Yeah, he's got right side and the dark room, and he did go get that basement chest.
But I don't think he got the vanilla big key.
No, that's gonna probably stay locked.
Yeah, I would imagine. And then, of course, Helmasaur.
Yeah, I mean, there's the item on Helmasaur, and he's got 1 key for it, I think. So if he hammer jumps to clear the dark room, bows his way through right side. He's not going right side?
I wonder if he might have... Well, he might be going to Dark Maze first, because he has
he's got 2
keys currently.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because he saved that extra small key before when he was here. He considered going up to Helma and then decided against it, probably because he remembered that soft lock possibility. Oh, Maximini letting us know, thank you again, the tracker with the memory, that Carnath did come back and do right side on his second visit. Which I guess makes sense of his item count now that I think about it, because he's about to pick up 3 items here.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice the compass there.
Ooh, Temper, that first chest.
Yeah, that's big. The sort of upgrade you want to see.
Now you're thinking, gosh, if only I knew hammer jump, I could have got that earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And there's Ether.
So that's Meyer access, and I believe it is fully clearable now too.
No, I think we still need the Meyer big key. No, we did find the Meyer big key. Or Carnath did. Somewhere.
So at this point, do we have the GT big key?
Yep.
Yes, we do. So we may... Am I calling this too? I mean, are we close to go mode? I mean, they can finish off desert, and if that's a crystal, we don't know if we don't know if it's desert or if
yeah,
it's,
I think we're missing a bit of that
Town.
crystal pendant information yet, but
so
yeah, we may not need that pedestal.
Yeah, depending on if it's Thieves Town or it's Desert Palace. Kirito heading north from Swamp. He could be checking that 5-6, or he could be going straight towards Pod. We're gonna find out in just a second here. Desert Palace. So Carnath, a little bit of a risky move from them to decide to go straight to Helma because they could be potentially key locking themselves. But not in this case.
There's only one item he'd be missing there. Either there's another Palace of Darkness key available somewhere else in the world, or that Palace of Darkness key is in that chest itself.
Our brain Maximini once again with a reminder that we don't know for sure what Pod is. So actually, in fact, defeating Helmasaur will tell us whether or not Carnath is in go.
Yeah, we do only need the one more bit of information here, I think. Looks like Kirito's gonna finish off Desert.
Yeah, great play. You just picked up one of the red crystals. You're going to go do the other one.
And then that'll let him check Fat Fairy for whatever's in there.
Those 2 items. Which could still be significant if Pod's not a crystal. And it has a Thieves'
There's
Town
not
big key.
too much they need at this point. Let's see what this Helmosaur drops here.
Ah,
And
crystal.
the crystal. So we don't need that Thieves' Town big key. Or maybe we do for the pendant? No.
No, at this point, we are in go. Carnath has everything that he needs to finish off the crystal dungeons. And he's got the GT big key. So they're in go mode. And at the same time that we were in go, we also found out that Pet is dead. So rest in peace, Pedestal.
Yep, that was a double confirmation.
So Kirito might not have the pod big key at this point, and otherwise is missing the bow and pod and the flute, which we know are both inside pod.
Yeah, he's got to go back to pod at some point here. That is the play. He's found enough progression to keep him going outside of pod. Like, he hasn't run out of locations to check yet, but
yeah, depending on which chests he chooses to check first, like for instance, whether or not he chooses to check the pod vanilla big key chest or the harmless hellway, he may need a 6th pod small key. You may need to find that last one that we haven't seen yet. Carnath ditching out of Skullwoods. You might not realize that he's in go.
Let's check. Might get a graveyard ledge check here too.
Yeah, I wonder if he thinks he needs the Skullwoods big key in order to get to Mothula. Getting Fire Rod strats from Kirito on Randomizer.
Lano. Carnath taking a weird route to get to the castle. Looks like he's going to Agnum's Tower.
Yeah, looking like checking more locations again, maybe not realizing that they've got what they need for Go. It could also be that they don't know they're in Go because we have commentators. It's commentators Go mode because he's not quite sure which dungeons are required at this point.
Yeah, he might not have all the information.
Yeah, he certainly didn't know that the Desert Palace is a red crystal. So in his mind, it might still be a toss-up between Thieves' Town and Desert
Yeah.
Palace. I know for sure that he's seen that Swamp is a crystal. I'm not sure if he knows about Misery Mire.
Cleared swamps.
Oh, excuse me. I meant Skull Woods.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's checked his map. He should know that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I know for sure that he knows Skull Woods is a crystal, but I don't know that he knows Misery Mire is. And none of us know whether or not Thieves' Town is a crystal. So I can understand this play.
Yeah.
Kirito, meanwhile, turning in their super bomb.
Nothing in Agnes Tower. Probably heading to do Dark Escape now. Looks like he hasn't done that. And we'll find out what's on the Pyramid Ferry in a second from Kirito.
Yeah, it could be unfortunate if they get something here like the Thieves' Town Big Key that leads them astray.
Yeah, that would be a key you don't want to see at this point.
But luckily, it's just a heart container and a compass.
We'll actually get to see what this was here for Karnath. 5 arrows, okay.
Kirito maybe either ditched out of going up to Agnes Tower or remembering that they already checked the pyramid ledge.
I think all they've got is Hookshot Cave.
Keysanity is like such a memory game. Like it just taxes your mental energy so much unlike any other game mode I play in Link to Past Randomizer.
Well, I mean, Keysanity entrance randomizer, you get a combination of both things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, as far as items go, Keysanity is definitely the hard mode because you got so much just, you know, if this then that type of situations. You need so many things for other things and always worried about your key counts to be able to do stuff.
Yeah, routing is definitely a factor, of course, in open and standard mode, but there is a little bit, it can be a little bit more passive, you know, the mental game that's happening in those modes. Whereas Keysanity, it requires, like, you know, it demands a lot of your attention. Looks like he's going for the Turtle Rock tip, potentially. Or, oh no, he didn't check Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, but he might dip into Turtle Rock afterwards because, again, there's not much else left. Hopefully he finds a couple keys to Turtle Rock in Hookshot Cave because that'll open up a bit more of that.
Yeah, at this point, generally, I do think it is wise to finish the dungeons you can if you're close to knowing, you know, whether or not you're in Go. Finish the dungeons you're able to, get the crystals or pendants, and just that intel alone can sometimes be valuable enough.
Yep. Which I think we can fully clear Mire at this point.
Yeah, he can fully.
Can, so.
Yeah, Mire, Swamp Palace, or excuse me, Skull Woods. I did it again, and Desert Palace. All well, particularly Desert Palace and Skull Woods are relatively quick bosses to get to and finish off.
Yeah, I mean, they've done the first halves of those dungeons anyway, so yeah, it's just go in the back half of Desert, go in the back half of Skull Woods, and then you've just got the 2 Medallion line and Karnath Dead Rocks himself.
Oh man, Yeah, I'm not quite sure what info Carnath is lacking here. Well, which dungeons they don't know about. But we know actually that Desert Palace is one that they're not sure about. So that would be a great dungeon to go to. Get that intelligence. Find out whether or not you're close to go. Okay, so we've seen that Carnath does know that Misery Mire is a crystal. So the only piece of intel that they're lacking is Desert Palace crystal. And I think Kirito doesn't yet know that Pod is a crystal. And maybe Ice Palace too, because I think we gained that intelligence when Carnath cleared Cold Stare.
Yeah. Kirito getting his bumper cave knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, at this point, Kirito might have a real possibility to catch up, depending on how early they make this pod play. In terms of crystal dungeons, they both need to finish 3 crystals, different crystals. So all Kirito's really lacking is the bow and the flute, and the medallions, and of course some information that they still need.
Well, he can get at Quake, and Ether was in Pod.
Oh, so everything he needs really is in Pod right now.
Yeah, no, Pod is definitely the play for him, and it looks like he's heading there.
Oh, good. This is good news for Kirito. Carnath mirroring out after he's done his dip.
Yeah. I don't think he needs much more, though, so there wasn't really any reason to go into TR.
Well, again, he's not quite sure yet if it's Thieves Town or it's Desert Palace that's required.
True.
So he might have been fishing for a Thieves Town big key there. But looks like they're going for the Misery Mire play. So they're going to grab this crystal, which will be good for them, and maybe, hopefully, warp to Desert and finish that off as well and find out that they're in go mode.
Yeah, I would hope he's going to do those both back to back.
Kirito's heading towards the back, but still, with only 2 small keys, it's questionable whether or not he's going to pick up that flute in the Hellway. At this point, I believe Kirito doesn't know if it is Pod or if it is Ice Palace that's the crystal. Or Thieves Town. It might also be Thieves Town as far as Kirito knows. Picking up their bow, though. I can't imagine, having not seen the hammer jump from them before, that we're going to see the Hellway instead of the Dark Room.
Oh, he's doing it.
So they'll pick up their Ether Medallion in here, but they'll have just walked past the other item that's needed for Maya right now, which is the flute. Was an Ether Medallion in this room, I believe?
It was in the big chest.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think it was just a big 20 in this bottom one, but he'll get through the wall and find his Ether.
Uh-oh, Carnath getting another T-Rock small key. Hopefully that doesn't lead them astray.
Yeah, that could be bad. So Kirito does his right side because I saw he didn't get the one chest there.
Yeah, he
Okay,
just picked up the bow, so there's 2 items still left for him up there. He's missing 1 pod small key that Carnath has picked up from elsewhere, but he's going to need 2 small keys at this point in order to both defeat Helmasaur and grab that flute that they're missing.
Yep. Just trying to think where did Karnath find those other keys?
It could have been Ice Palace had 1 of them.
Yeah, Ice Palace. I don't think it was an Eastern. They've both done everything in there except for the boss, basically.
Carnath has done the boss, but didn't do the big.
Or, well, yeah, other than that
chest.
big chest that didn't have anything.
Kirito realizing he's done here in pod. We'll see where he goes to next. Carnath is finishing off their Misery Mile full clear.
He's got the bow and he's got the mirror, so yeah, heading to Eastern Palace is a smart move here.
Yeah, I can't remember what Armless Knights dropped, but I am pretty sure it wasn't the small key.
A small key to ice.
If Kirito decides to go there next, and there is a pod small key there, which I believe there is, that might set him back on the right track. But still missing 1 pod small key. And at this point, we've seen quite a lot of overworld locations. It might be deep in TR.
Yeah, as far as that 6th one, yeah, it could be there.
Yeah, I can't think of much else of where it could be other than maybe Thieves Town. Behind that big key door.
Could be in the back of there. What else is there?
Neither locations that are very good for Kirito right now. I think the only other overworld left is bootlocked overworld.
And the shovel spot.
Ah, yes. Which we don't have the shovel yet, but yeah, we could be getting the shovel fetch quest leading to the other pod small key.
Yeah. There was also technically Mimic Cave, technically overworld, but basically in part of Turtle Rock.
Yep. Yeah, with 2 Turtle Rock small keys and the big key, which we do have, am I correct? Yes. Then that opens up everything except for 2 items, which is the vanilla big key location and Trinex. So there's 12 item locations. Very likely that the other pod small key is there.
Did Karnath finish Misery Mire, or?
You know, I didn't see. I think they must have failed.
Don't recall seeing that boss. I think he might have died or dipped out for some reason.
Oh, you know what? I just saw in their item menu that they are not in Go mode. They don't have the Misery Mire big key right now.
Oh,
So
they're
that
missing.
explains a lot of the behavior here.
was that? I guess
I don't think we've actually seen it. Kirito doesn't have it either.
Oh. It's marked on Carnath's tracker. I thought we saw it somewhere.
Yeah, perhaps we saw it and thought it was a big key, but it was a small key or something. So that actually makes it very likely that the big key or the path to the big key is in Turtle Rock at this point, and makes a lot more sense of what Carnath is doing here. So in essence, in actuality, they were just dipping into Misery Mire, hoping to find the big key in there, the vanilla big key. There was a small key from Kirito there. I didn't see what dungeon that was to. That might have been the pod small key.
Could have been, actually. We'll see if he pauses. Yeah, it must have been. He took his portal right back into pod here.
Hopefully he doesn't go for the vanilla big chest. Oh, good. Doesn't look like he is. He's either going for Helma or the Hellway.
Ooh. Please go for the Hellway. Oh, no.
I guess he has to do either one, right?
Oh, no. Oh, this could be real bad.
I think because there's only one more item location, the big chest location that we haven't seen, I think that means that this cannot be. I'm trying to think if this could be a soft lock potential.
That depends on if that sixth key is accessible somewhere. Did he? No, he didn't open the vanilla big key door either. So he's got 2 more keys to find in the world somewhere. But yeah, he's not going to have Mire access at all, and that's a crystal.
Yeah, this is a crystal too, so he would have to have burned this key eventually. We'll see what he does after this. He might go. He might come right back in the dungeon and check one of the locations. Oh wait, no, sorry. He just burned his key. That's right. That was the one key that he had, was going to Helma.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maximini pointing out that the soft lock potential is only real, I think, in this instance, if the other pod small key is flute locked.
Right. Yeah.
I think the only locations that they could be at this point that are flute locked are Misery Mire Big Chest or behind Vitreous.
Yeah. Which would mean it's probably deep in TR somewhere. Or the back half of Thieves if they find that big key. Ooh, Carnath actually is going to clear out the other half of Ice Palace here.
All right, which is another possibility for those. Either Thieves Town Big Key, Pod Small Key, Misery Mire Big Key.
Turtle Rock small keys, we're still missing 2 of those.
Yeah, oh my gosh, can you imagine if the Misery Mire Big Key is here and he walked past it when he was in the dungeon earlier?
Oh.
So turning into the green pendant, I think, and not quite sure what the best play for Kirito at this point would be. Probably Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think that is his best bet. Oh, where you going, Carnath? You had the key. Could have taken that shortcut over to those 3 on that one side there through that spike guarded room.
Yeah, but he won't lose too much time since he didn't end up doing the bomb jump. So we can just walk right across here to Ice Tea. You have to walk around, do the hookshot room.
Right.
Again, it might just be that open standard mode, muscle memory.
Yeah, you don't get used to having keys coming in here except for in Keysanity. Or having a key coming into that room anyways. Well, I guess it's possible in open mode you can get a key in that first chest.
Yeah, I suppose if you are double dipping, which he is, then you might have extra small keys. So just a blue rupee, an iced tea, and we'll see what the
3 chests over here.
3 chests. I can't count. And there's a compass tracker on the screen too. Nice.
Kirito getting his Aghanim's Tower items.
Yeah, pretty soon he's going to run out of locations. He's going to have another choice but Ice Palace. Very real possibility that he could catch up to Carnath if it does have the one pod small key that he'll need. 2, depending on which location he decides to check first.
Maximinian chat there says he's only missing the 1 key, so there would only be 1 to find.
Ah.
But he does have 2 doors unlocked, I think, so he might be missing 2.
Yeah, I thought he might have checked the big key location we didn't see, but I thought he hadn't checked that yet.
Oh, maybe.
Well, there's another small key to TR. Okay, so Ped is not dead either, because we're missing that big key. It could be that it's Ice Rod somewhere. You have to finish off TR. You have to find the Thieves' Town big key. I mean, it's very unlikely at this point, but you get the boots, and then you go to Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb to grab that Misery Mire big key.
Yeah, it could be in King's Tomb or Bonk Rocks. That's true.
Oh yeah, Maximum reminding us that Kirito did check it on the first visit, that vanilla big key location, and it was junk. And I remember, yeah, that's right, because I remember being like, oh yeah, uh-oh. So he really just needs that 1 small key, which we're pretty sure he's just about to pick up. Yeah, I think Carnath running out of options, but that TR, another TR dip. Still hasn't finished Skull Woods though. It's not going to get them any progress, we know, but they might choose to do that first. Yeah, looks like they're heading up that way. At least they're going to the Dark World. I think this is a really good play. We know that it's not going to give him the progress that he wants, but it's a crystal. You can finish it.
Yeah, he's got to clear out that crystal anyways, so.
Yeah, and if he wasn't thinking about it before, he can see it now on his map. That 3 glaring at him.
Yep. He's probably wondering where that Meyer big key's at.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about this map looking now. Again, like I wonder if he doesn't realize that you don't need the Skull Woods big key to clear out Skull. That could be holding him back too.
Could be.
It's one of those weird dungeons. It's only Skull Woods and Swamp Palace that you don't need the big key to finish off the boss.
Well, and Ice Palace, but that's assuming you can
Oh yeah,
do the glitches.
that you can sequence break it. Yes, that's true. Yep. Yeah, although sometimes it is required if you don't have certain items. Right? Am I? No, I'm wrong. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Got some serious item menu checking. You never want to see that.
Yeah, some serious brain thinking.
Yeah, I think at this point, Carnath has cleared all of the overworld that they can. So the only options left to them are Skull Woods, which they might not realize they can do, or to go back into TR if they remember that they picked up more small keys since the last time they were there.
Yeah. No, it looks like he's moving on Skullwoods now.
Just had to do a lap around Village of Outcast there real quick.
Clear his head.
Work off some calories a little bit. I could be wrong. I might have seen in the item menu that Kirito did indeed pick up the pod small key while we were looking the other way. Yeah, it looks like he's got that small key now.
Okay, yep.
That's great news for Kirito. He might, I mean, he has the possibility to make a comeback here.
Yeah, if Carnath stays as lost as he is for a bit.
Yeah, which is
backed out of Skull Woods. He's not heading in. I don't know.
Yeah, to me, that's an indication that he might not realize big key's not required.
Yeah, it must be.
Also, you can beat. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
He's got the small key. Like he can get into that last door, heading into the back. So yeah, big key must be the only thing he thinks he's missing. I guess he's gonna head into Turtle Rock more.
Yeah, which we're pretty sure at this point will lead to the Misery Mire big key in some fashion.
Yep, either through the Thieves Town big key or shovel.
Ooh, Kirito just warped out of Ice Palace because he doesn't know that it's a crystal.
Oh, he wants to make use of that pod key. I'm sure he's gonna.
Yeah, he's like, am I really doing this? Am I really going through this dungeon right now? I don't know if it's necessary. Yeah, it's so tempting when you find an item and you're dipping into a dungeon that you're not sure is required. It's so tempting to just mirror right out and get out of it. And sometimes,
Yeah.
it's a risky play. And if you think you're behind, you might do that if you think there's no other choice.
Well, at that point, he was halfway into the dungeon, maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point, it's definitely the standard thing, and I would say the safer play to finish out the dungeon for sure.
Yeah.
And in this case, we know it's the correct play, but Kirito doesn't know that.
Yeah, even if it's a pendant, sometimes it's just better to get the dungeon done, get the items out of it.
Yeah, it's also, you know, how long does it take you from where you are right then in the dungeon to get more items versus how long would it take you to walk back to pod, you know? And
Right.
you can think
Yeah.
about item density in terms of how close you are. In that case, it makes sense to kind of stick it out and hang out in Nice Palace for a bit longer.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the trip he had to make you and swam out Hylia, walked all the way around in the light world to that hammer gate, got into Dark World, that whole Dark World Eastern Palace maze area before you actually get in here. And now he's got to go all the way into that harmless hellway.
Yeah, and he will pick up his flu here,
It's
which
very
is
useful.
required.
Yeah,
But it
he
is going to
needs
lead
that.
him probably into checking some locations that won't have progress.
That's true.
Whereas if he had stuck out Ice Palace, and
Although
then just
all he has left is what's left of Ice Palace and Misery Mire, which is now opened up by the flute.
as well as TR, which Karnath is at right now.
True.
And I believe that there were TR small keys in Misery Mire. So the correct play for Kirito would be to go to Misery Mire first, or at least the correct as we know it.
So there's his flute. Where does he go now?
Looks like he's walking somewhere. Maybe back to Ice Palace?
Maybe. Hope he's not walking all the way to CAC to activate that flute.
Yeah, we have seen Kirito avoid saving and quitting quite a lot, so hopefully that's not the case here.
Yeah. Oh, and he is heading in that direction.
It looks like back to Ice Palace. Oh, or maybe he hasn't gotten Quack yet.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's gotten this, so pick this up while he's here.
Oh, it looks like we missed the Misery Mire Big Key. Karnath's side.
Oh, he must have found that in TR somewhere.
It must have been the Vanilla Big Key location. I think that's the only chest that I missed him picking.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Because he did have... No, he only had 3.
If he was in Go, though, then he's not in No, though. That's the thing. And if he thinks he needs that Swamp or Skull Woods Big Key,
Yeah.
It's there in his item menu. Doesn't have the TR Big Key, so he can't continue on in this dungeon.
Where did Kirito find that? Because there must be places that Karnath hasn't checked that Kirito did.
Yeah, it must be.
Well, Karnath will clear out Mire, and then hopefully realize he doesn't need the big key to finish Swamp.
Oh, it could have been. It could have been Skull Woods. That's one of the things.
Skull Woods, I mean.
Yeah, it was one of the things that Karnath hasn't done yet.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
So if Karnath is waiting to find the Skull Woods Big Key in order to go do that dungeon, then they might be locked out of it without going to Skull, unfortunately.
Yeah. If they think they need that, that could keep them away from there for a real long time. You might not even see it, because it's like technically not required. It could be like in GT or something.
Oh yeah, that's totally true as well. Multiple ways that they could be locking themselves out here by thinking that Skullwood's Big Key is required. But we're gonna get a sync here. Kirito and Carnath both in Misery Mire. 2.5 hours in, huge divergence, very different choices, and we're both back in Misery Mire.
Yep. And both of them only 2 crystals away.
Yeah, I'm sure after Kirito clears Misery Mire, it seems like his only 2 choices really are go back to Ice Palace, get what we know to be his final crystal, or go up to TR for what he thinks will be a dip.
Yep. I don't see how you don't make the Ice Palace play in that situation. He's already cleared half of it too, so.
Well, it can be that sunk fallacy situation where you're like, well, I've already been
True.
there. I don't want to go. I've already not got what I wanted. I don't want to double dip. But in this case, yeah. And I think that kind of thinking in general can bite you quite often in Keysanity. Yeah, if you ever hear either of us say Swamp Palace, just assume if it doesn't make sense that we mean Skullwoods.
Yeah, it's not a uncommon one to mix up though.
It's that
There's several
SW.
people that do it. I've noticed. I think that's part of what keeps people doing it is that other people keep doing it.
Yeah, I'll take the fault for it on this one because I started it. So Kirito getting those unfortunate hints, or actually fortunate hints to TR because they haven't gotten their Misery Mire Big Key yet either. So Kirito not actually
That's
in go.
true. Yeah, they do have to go back and get that. So, or
Right,
not back. Go there for the first time, I should say.
Right. Yeah. Back for us, first for them. Yeah. So this is what we were saying before was going to be the correct play for Kirito is if they decide to go to Misery Mire first, get those small keys they need, which will give them the Misery Mire Big Key. Meanwhile, Carnath getting their 7th crystal.
6th. They still need to go and do.
Oh, 6th. Excuse me, 6th. I can't count. I meant to say the penultimate crystal. How about that? And we'll see where they head now. I can't remember if they did a full clear of pod. They might not have gotten the vanilla big key locations. This could be why they're coming back.
Yeah, if they found another key, they could get that last chest.
Yeah, it looks like they don't have any small key though. So there is that one location left, but they can't do anything about it.
Yep, and they'll see it right here.
Yeah, if they're looking. Yeah, there it is. He sees it. He's wondering. Maybe he's wondering if he's key locked himself or soft locked himself.
Well, he should be able to find that 6th key somewhere because Kirito found it.
Yeah, that's true. But it might have been in Skull Woods, where he thinks he can't go right now. So in his mind, he might think he's soft locked.
Ooh.
That's how I would interpret those hookshot boings that he just did
Yeah,
against the edge
no,
there.
he's kind of desperate to get at that chest. He must not have much else available to him.
Yeah, I believe he's cleared
He did
absolutely
a
everything at
lot
this
of
point
Turtle
but
Rock.
Skull.
We don't have the shovel, we don't have the boots. Can't get into the back half of Thieves.
Kirito going to finish off Ice Palace, which will put them, I believe, in no mode. Or they'll know which dungeons are required.
Yeah, don't. Carnath having the nice zoomed in pan over everything, going over every location in his mind.
Just mentally checking the map here and visually trying to match it up with all the item locations. You know, I was really resistant to location trackers until I started playing Keysanity, and makes a huge difference.
Yeah, no, I caught on to that pretty quick. I messed around with like maybe 1 or 2 seeds without a tracker first before I tried using one, and it was instantly like this is so much easier. This is so
Yeah,
helpful.
you can definitely make different kinds of mistakes with trackers by like
Oh,
marking off locations.
yeah, I've lost like 15 to 20 minutes in the last 2 races just because I forgot to track something and didn't realize I had it, or like you don't see those locations on the tracker become available to you. You don't think you can actually get them despite we've actually got on you.
Yeah, but it's useful for just such situations like these. Even if you just have it up as a map and you never track anything, it would tell you like which locations are available to you and which not. In this
Yeah.
case, it would show him that he could go to Skull and fully clear it. Rito making his way through his second tip of Ice Palace. Both runners doing unrequired double dips into Ice Palace. But at this point, all Kirito needs to do, if he's to catch up with Carnath, is he's got to finish out this dungeon, and he's got to go up to TR, get his Misery Mire small key, and he'll be in business. So that probably gives Carnath, I would estimate, maybe like 15 minutes to figure out what he's missing here.
Yeah, not even that, maybe. Like 10 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, it depends on how fast Kirito can do all this. Oh, he's going to 3. He's going to the Dark World.
Is he maybe just going up there and seeing if there actually is a door that he can't get through? Ooh, where you going, buddy?
Oh, north! North! He's checking to see if he's got the big key here or any other way to progress this dungeon.
Probably making sure he checked all the items in here.
Yeah, he sees those open chests. Maybe he'll do the same with Skull Woods. Looks like where he's going right now.
Kirito making his way down to Cold Stair.
Oh, he's going to the back half of Skull. He didn't go this far before. I believe he's figured it out.
Yeah, finally on the right path here.
So he didn't give those 10, 15 minutes that Kirito might have needed to catch back up here. So this would
Nope,
be a hard race
he's-
for Kirito to win at this moment.
Well, we'll see how much trouble he has with Mothula himself, because that could always happen. I mean, he's got safeties, he's got tempered swords, so it should be a quick and easy fight. But
Yeah, much easier than Kirito's fighter sword fight with Mothula.
oh yeah, he took a couple early swings at that cost him. But we'll see how quick Kirito can. Oh, Kirito didn't find silvers. Where were those? Someplace early. Oh no, he's got them. They're just not on the tracker.
Yeah, I thought they were early, like Kakariko or something.
Yeah, they were real early. I was wondering how you could have possibly missed those.
Carnath not finishing off Mothula. Oh no. Oh, it could be the big key. He thinks that he's going to run into the big key when he goes up to go towards the boss. So he's ditching out
Oh
again.
no!
Kirito's still in play here.
Yup. This is too bad. I really hate to say it, but he's throwing this away.
Yeah, he had a very sizable lead, but if you miss one location, man, that can be the end of you.
But yeah, but he hasn't even missed a location.
I know.
It's just bad knowledge. Which is really unfortunate to be.
It is so unfortunate.
I mean, he hasn't lost it yet. He could still figure it out. He's got time. There's a whole Turtle Rock dip, and I mean,
victorious fight.
He's got until about the time that Kirito makes it to Meyer to figure it out.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, if he's...
Oh, he got a small key. He got that small key in Skull.
Oh, he found his key. Okay. Well, this isn't going to get him what he needs, but...
Yeah, again, I mean, that to me still seems like he doesn't realize that big key is not necessary. But yeah, not what he wanted. Yeah, Keysanity certainly tests your knowledge. You know, if this were open or standard mode, I could see, you know, a player making this mistake because you might be used to full clearing Skull Woods anyway, and you're not paying attention really to whether or not the big key is required.
Yeah.
It's never caught you up.
Back to this portal.
Here we go.
Is he gonna go all the way and see that there actually isn't a big key door back there?
Still could be pretty close, depending on how each of them do on their fights.
That too, there is
bosses here.
Yeah. Well, and there's the whole Ganon's Tower climb yet too. We'll see how the refights do for Mini Moldorms and Trolldorm. Or not Mini Moldorms, Lamola.
Yeah, but certainly Carnath's race to lose at this point has a pretty significant lead on Kirito by a few minutes.
But he is making his way in here now. I think he probably realizes at this point.
Or maybe just hopes. Yeah, the only requirement to get to this boss is a sword, which can also catch you up. You might get right
trying to do Mothula early and not having a sword yet. I know I did that once really early on. Did that in Aghanim's Tower too. Once went all the way up Aghanim's Tower, didn't have a sword yet. Had the cape to get through the laser blocker thing, but yeah, I went all the way up, couldn't cut the curtain.
Yeah, one of the very few places where having a sword matters. That, of course, and the Ganon fight.
Yep. 2 curtains to slash and a master sword to kill Ganon.
Yeah, and it may be required for Aghanim. Well,
You need a sword or the net.
well, I mean to get up Aghanim's tower, you
Oh.
might need the master sword. But yeah, otherwise it's a little bizarre to have a sword requirement in a seed, so you're not thinking about it. All right, and with that, Karnath has got their final crystal. And Kirito just about to discover the Misery Mire Big Key.
Yeah, that's not too much further in here, I don't think.
Yeah, hopefully they don't try to skip the TR Vanilla Big Key location. Oh.
Rough death there.
Chain Chomps are racking up their kill count again.
Yeah, well, he got stuck on his Samaria block trying to set up the invulnerability glitch from the pegs there.
Oh no!
It threw him off, and he got a couple of hits from the Chomp Reeler there, which ate up a lot of his life.
That's a difficult tech. No, Pedestal Zelnus had boots, but at this point, Karnath is in go. What Kirito is looking for in Turtle Rock is the big key to Misery Mire.
Oh, he's
no!
gonna die. Oh, dodged it, but he's still in trouble here. And there it is. Ouch.
Yeah, I believe that Kirito even has a potion here, but he might just be wanting to conserve them at this point.
Yeah, I do believe he had 1 or 2 in reserve. Well, Karnath is on his way to GT.
So, would you open any chests on your way up Ganon's tower?
With tempered and silvers, no. I don't need any more keys. Got red mail, 16 hearts. That's plenty, really. The only thing you could really hope for would be like half magic, and that's not super useful on Aghanim and Ganon, really.
Yeah,
Kind of useful for dodging more fire bats if you're not that comfortable with it. But
if they didn't know Boots was on pedestal, that might also be something. But the chests that you get are so late in the dungeon.
Yeah, no, like you really should have pretty much everything that you're going to need in the seed at this point coming into Ganon's tower. So there usually isn't too much to be worth opening for, especially once you've got tempered and silvers.
Yeah,
Gold
I don't anticipate them.
But
We'll see what they choose. I don't anticipate them opening any chests either. But meanwhile, we get to see Karnath's Gauntlet here.
yeah, with the time he lost waiting earlier and how long this has taken, I'm pretty sure he thinks he's behind and will not be checking chests.
Oh, did Kirito skip the Vanilla Big Key location? No, he's got the Big Key.
It was open. I saw it.
He's just not in no mode, maybe? Maybe he doesn't realize that Misery Mire is a crystal. I'm not sure if he has that on his map.
Oh, maybe not. He might be doing what he can here of Turtle Rock instead. Or at least getting as far as Mimic Cave and the big chest.
Without knowing whether or not Thieves Town's required. Using some fire rod strats in the gauntlet here. Good idea. Speed these rooms up quite a lot. Going for silvers. Ooh, almost gets the save on that second landmass after missing it.
A little too early on that one. Just missed there. Not cooperating.
And unfortunately, Kirito has enough small keys to finish out the rest of Turtle Rock, so he might be stuck in this dungeon for a bit.
Oof, yeah, he might fall for... Maybe he won't commit to Trinex, he'll just go for the laser bridge. But I don't know what else. He doesn't need anything else.
Yeah, again, he might not know that. I forget whether or not he has the Misery Mire map.
He also doesn't have Ice Rod, so he couldn't kill Trinex anyways.
Oh, good. Phew. Well, hopefully it's not on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, hopefully it's not. But he should know that this is a red pendant, so... Well, let's see what's on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, so Carnath having to switch to silvers here because they don't have boots. These rooms with the...
Oh no, he died! Yeah,
Oh, is that a death? Oh no!
He got pushed off with one
That's
heart
so
left,
cheap.
and he switched to the potion like he was going to try and use it, but it was too late.
Yeah, I probably didn't realize that with 2 hearts, just one hit and falling would do it for him.
Yeah, it was only a heart and a half. The guard only took a half heart because he's got the red mail, but yep, that fall will do the other whole heart.
Okay, Kirito not getting those that ice rod, so he won't be juked into going to Trinex.
Just go to Mire. Be on your way. Carnath dies in the climb again. Kirito could catch up.
Yeah, or takes a fall. Of course, we would never wish that on a runner, but it is still possible that they could catch up.
Yep. This is still anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, and this will be a very easy Vitreous fight too, so it should be no problem for Kirito with silvers.
Yeah, this is a should be a go mode run through Mire, which isn't too long. Unless he gets distracted by opening the big chest, but he shouldn't need it.
Again, if they don't have the map, might not realize that.
Well, they've got. Carnath nearing the top of the gauntlet.
Almost back to where he was before already.
Oh, we do have a big chest opening for Kirito.
Going for the fairy this time. Ooh, just a little bit late on that landmo.
Early. He did that last
Oh
time.
yeah, early.
Ooh, missing the.
Yeah, I think he's been lining up his Canna blocks right on top of his sprite, thinking that the block's going to drop on top of his sprite, so they've been a little bit high. Oh, got a double, and then got robbed of a triple because of that spike that was in the way.
Yeah, that spike block can block your vertical projectile sometimes.
Does a much better job in this room this time. He's not going to get forked again. Skips the despawn, luckily, in the rooms below that could
Yeah.
despawn.
Oh,
That might have
finds
been-
that half magic.
Oh, that's a great pickup. So there you go. He did pick up one chest and found the item that you said that you might want.
Like the only thing that would make a difference really is gold sword, and that's not too huge of a difference from tempered sword. It makes the first two phases again a little quicker, but not a necessity.
Yeah, Kirito making short work of Vitreous here. It's going to head up to Ganon. Ganon's tower, rather. But still probably a good, I'd say 6 minutes behind.
Yeah, basically the full Ganon tower climb. Small key for Meyer in our last chest there. That would have been a hell of a place for the 6th key to pod.
My gosh. Well, I don't think it could be in the logic because you could keylock yourself.
I guess, yeah, it
crystal.
does probably keep all of them accessible.
Kirito checking locations still.
Ooh, nice triple there from Carnath. And Dagger 2 down. Well, at least we'll be seeing Ganon before sub 3. Before the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, Carnath heading into the Ganon fight. And Kirito just making their way, walking up to GT, or G Tower, rather. Which I guess is GT. Doing pretty great on their Ganon fight here, and I didn't get to see whether or not they had any potions.
Ooh, big chunk of damage from that fire bat. And another one gets out.
Oh, he does at least have this red potion. My biggest danger at this point, now that he's quaffed that potion, is falling in.
Yep, now that the holes are there.
Ooh, Kirito going back through TR.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He must think that it's a crystal. He must not realize that he's got the crystals
he's
necessary.
already got all 7 of those.
Oh, torch glitch with the fire rod.
Yeah, that's always kind of impressive.
Yeah, what a show off.
I mean, I never do it. I'm not that confident in it. I'll go up to the thing with my lamp and mash like 4 or 5 uses on it.
Yeah, it's a great tech to know if you can do it, but it's very difficult.
It's
correctly.
it's a very hard timing. But yeah, I'd rather spend twice as much magic with my lamp and make sure I get it.
Yeah, and with that, walked through the door. Carnath has finished first with an official SRL time of 3:01:11. So we do have to
Cool
wrap
seed,
things up
right?
here. Yeah, good final message. We do have to wrap things up here, I think, pretty quickly because there might be another race coming up here. But we're going to see if Carnath's available for an interview. Rito looking at their map, maybe realizing that they've got their 7 crystals after all.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a frustrating couple minutes of time wasted.
Hey, Carnath, GG.
Carnath.
Oh, guys, I apologize so bad. I don't understand why I had the noobest mistake. I was convinced I needed the big key to fight Moth.
Yeah, we saw that, and that was probably a good 5 or 6 minutes you let Kirito almost catch up on you.
Oh God! Well, if I could have gone to him so much sooner, I mean, I'm sure I would have knocked a half hour off that time.
Yeah, that's true. If you known you could have done that earlier, you probably would have done it several crystals ago, right?
Yeah.
It would have given you intelligence too to let you know not to go to some dungeons to realize it was a crystal. But you know, I can understand that. Like if you play a lot of standard or open, you know, you might just get the big key in the normal course of things anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, it was. We thought actually that you were in go much sooner because we thought you had the Misery Mire big key. We were like very confused why you were going into Turtle Rock until we realized.
Yeah, and that was because I know I went into Misery and I pulled up my menu and I'm like, crap, I don't have the big key for this. Where could it be? I don't have the big key for Thieves Town. I don't have the big key for Skull Woods. A lot of big keys were missing. I'm guessing they were all tucked away in Ganon's Tower.
Probably, or
yeah, they could have been boots locked.
or boots
and the
locked
only other
too,
location
because,
that
that boots on pedestal and bombos on the library. We were wondering what that was gonna, with that kind of combination, I was almost sure it was gonna be a pedestal seed very early on.
Yeah, like when I went and I checked the ped and I saw that the boots were there and I saw Bombos in the library, I'm like, oh God, please don't have either Meyer or T-Rock be Bombos required.
Right? Yeah. Having to see that medallion, and thankfully it wasn't. But until you had that medallion knowledge, that was probably pretty nail biting.
That was a sentence, though, like kind of a sentence in its own way to have to run the seed without boots. You know, you're actually hoping to not get boots in this case.
Yeah, there was definitely some trolley aspects of this, like having to double dip a couple of the dungeons. I tried following some of the logic, but at times it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it was pretty confusing in a couple of ways. I would have probably gotten lost with that Palace of Darkness situation. I probably would have left Mitts in there.
Yeah, Palace of
my
Darkness
first
was
trip,
definitely the
like you
gold
did.
mine of the day.
You left the mitts in there on your first trip, right? And then you had to go back for them.
Yes, I did. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I can't believe I skipped that chest too.
No, that would have been, with that situation. That would have been one of the ones that I would have forgotten to check too, probably, because like usually check that one in sequence with the vanilla big chest key. for the big key. And so you go through that door up top and then you drop down. And without going through that door, yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone through that on the first time.
Yeah, very very bold play, by the way, to check the harmless hellway there where you found the flute. You got that like maybe an hour before Kirito found it.
Oh crap!
Yeah, no, that was a good find in there.
Kirito had to walk around much of the overworld without that flute, and of course, it gives you earlier access to Meyer and all that.
I'm going to be honest. When we hit almost the 3-minute mark and I hadn't seen done yet, I'm like, "There's no way."
Yeah, you starting to double think: is that pedestal actually required somehow? Something like that.
Well, yeah. To be honest, I was starting to think that. Of course, since I was stupid key on the Skull Woods, I was thinking that was in like Thieves Town, and that the big key for Thieves Town was tucked under Bonk Rock.
Right, something like that. Yeah. Or the shovel too. The shovel could have been hidden under one of the bonk rocks, or in Thieves Town, or
Exactly.
Yeah, Kirito was definitely trolled hard by those items in pod because he also missed the bow as well, not going to the backside as early. I do have to ask though, when you were in Ice Palace, and you did a bomb jump at first, but you didn't have the hook shot. So was that an intentional? When you mirrored out, was that intentional to avoid having to do the hook shot bomb jump?
Yeah, I've never actually practiced that one, so I don't even think I'd be able to pull it off. I figured at this point, since I didn't have hook shot, just go straight for cold stare, get him down, hope for something awesome, and then continue on. The fact that he dropped a crystal was just solid.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the only way that you had that intel that early on was to know that it was a crystal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get to Ice-T actually by heading back up through those locked doors. You don't need a small key or big key to walk back up after you fall down. And you can get to the right side of Ice Palace. And you could have checked Ice-T.
They're one-way doors without the keys. You can get through them from the backside.
Oh yeah. That one I realized that point, but it's like, do I really want to go for those chests? Because I couldn't remember. Like, I'm having such a bad day today. Which room was the actual hook shot room with the jellies in it?
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's on the right side of the long ice room.
Mm-hmm.
It's the top right exit out of that long ice room. Is where the jelly bomb jump room or hook shot room is.
Yeah.
Well, since you did end up double dipping anyway into Ice Palace, it ended up saving you time because you got to check the Ice-T chest a little more quickly than it would have cost you to go check it right where you were at that point, I believe.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Keysanity or final thoughts on the seed?
Don't screw up and think you need big keys when you really don't.
That's some good advice.
Other than that, no, I really enjoy Keysanity. I was really, when I first did it like a couple of months ago, I was like, "There's no way this is going to be fun," but it's so much more challenging. You have to check so many more chests.
Yeah, it really definitely.
You do have to keep like checking every chest that you can until you're in go mode, until you find that like last item, which could be, almost anything. It could be a key or it could be an item. And when it's a key, you never know where it's going to be, really.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely stretches your knowledge of the game. Those two dungeons that can really get you are Swamp Palace and Skull Woods, neither of which require the big key.
Yeah, and I know Swamp really well. Like the only thing you need that for is, of course, big chest, which obviously is same as Skull. But for some reason, I thought I needed a key for Skull.
Oh,
Yeah,
and Ice Palace too. Ice Palace you can also get through without needing the big key.
Right.
That's just for the chest as well, if you know the bomb jump, that is.
Correct.
Which most people do. I mean, it's usually one of the first glitch techniques that people pick up in this game because it's easily one of the most useful and a pretty simple bomb jump, honestly.
Yeah, and in my first round, I hadn't played in about 3 months because, stupid me, it's a tournament, let's not practice.
Oof.
And I went in there and I could not figure out the bomb jump. I'm like, crap, how do I do this? And then all of a sudden, wait, no, I'm doing this totally wrong. And then first try.
Right.
Yeah, you got that first try today. That was awesome.
Well, once I lined it up properly and stopped falling off the ledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once you know what you're trying to line it up on, it's not so bad. But if you're
Yeah.
trying to line it up on the wrong thing, then obviously you're going to have some problems.
No kidding. Is Kirito almost done, or?
Yeah,
In
they're
Gannon's
making their
tower,
way up
fifth
again.
floor.
Oh, okay, cool.
So he wasn't too far behind you, but yeah, he was. He just got his key for Meyer around the time you were clearing your Mothula fight and getting your 7th crystal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not far behind you. Also forgot a few locations, and I think didn't realize he was in Go because he went back to Turtle Rock after he got
Yeah,
his
he
7th crystal.
went into Turtle Rock on his way up to Gannon's tower for some reason.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, might not have realized.
The only thing that I can recall value in there was just the big T for Meyer.
Yeah, that was it. And he did go all the way down to Laser Room on his way before going into Meyer. I guess he didn't realize that the Meyer key was Go mode for him.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I probably would have tried to complete Turtle Rock too if the fact that I didn't have the big key for T-Rock.
It's the thing about Keysanity, like it really stretches you mentally. So you get to the end of the seed, you know, you've done absolutely everything, and you might not realize, like you just might have in your head, oh, I need that ice rod because I wanted it before for some reason. And
Yeah,
you
there
think,
might
oh,
be
I
just
still gotta find
one or
that.
two items that you're thinking about, but you don't actually need them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, GG, and way to stick with it. And I'm curious, did you was it like a moment of clarity? Did you have this realization that the big key wasn't required, or did you just go into Skull to check it out?
Well, and I'm sure you kind of noticed it, but when I went back to Skull and torched the entrance there, and I went in, I grabbed that first chest. I finally remembered that chest, and I was thinking, oh, that's got to be the big key, and then it wasn't. And then I went back over to Piles of Darkness, thinking, oh, okay, I got the key. It's got to be up there. And then it
Right,
wasn't
yeah, and
there.
you got that 6th key and went to go get that last chest there, yeah.
And then it wasn't there, and I'm like, crap. And then it's like, wait a minute, slash the vines, torch the torches. There is no friggin'. Oh crap! I've wasted time.
Yeah, and it was a lot of time at that point, probably, I want to say almost 15 minutes, 10 at least, probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Oh, second
getting-
fall to Troll Dorm.
yeah,
Kirito's
another
almost
troll,
there,
yeah.
but Troll Dorm giving him the business.
Yeah, you lucked out compared to Kirito on your moth fight, partially for not realizing the big key was not required because Kirito ended up doing moth with the fighter sword.
Oh god, that
Tried
must have
to.
been
He
brutal.
tried to do. He gave it like 2 attempts with the fighter sword initially. Came back with master sword and finished him later.
Jeez.
Got a validation chest.
Oh,
Useful
and
small
nice
key.
find on that half magic on the in the Helmasaur room there.
Well, that was actually a real surprise. I figured, you know what, I'm going to open one chest in here besides the validation just to say I did, and I saw half magic. Like, that is exactly what I wanted to be in there.
Yep. Well, it was one of the few things that would have made a difference. It was either that or gold sword, basically, and
Yep.
gold sword isn't that helpful. Like it's a little shorter round 2 for Ganon fight, but half magic is also pretty damn useful. It means you won't have to worry about hitting the torch glitch or.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which you got very nicely with that fire rod, by the way.
Oh, Kirito forfeit. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about.
He's.
I'm not sure what he's doing.
He's forfeiting in the middle of the Aga 2 fight, looks like.
Oh, okay, just to end the actual tournament, but he's probably going to finish it
Oh,
up.
he's using. I think it's probably a live split error.
Oh, okay. Oop.
So yeah. If Kirito does stick around to finish off Ganon, then we'll stick around too. Although we might not have a time for an interview with Kirito as well. But he got Agatu's down.
That's good.
All right, well, we'll see him tackle this Ganon fight real quick.
So I believe that Kirito still has a magic potion, so he didn't get that half magic, but I think he'll still be fine even if he doesn't get the torch glitch here. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely got a
Yeah,
blue.
he's got a blue, so he should be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for covering this, guys, and thanks for the interview. But I think we have to call it here because it's pretty late here as well. So.
Well, thanks for running, and throw a little link down to your Twitch in the description here, along with Kirito. Everybody should follow these runners. Best of luck in the rest of the tourney.
Thanks, man. I'll definitely be
good
watching
luck,
the
good
restream
race.
to catch up on some errors.
Yeah, probably a few things to review in this one.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Yep, have a good one.
Take care.
So Kirito's finishing up this Ganon fight. Very low on life here. Using his potion. Ooh, not even caring, just getting in there, giving him the wax.
Not a bad strategy if you're going to have to co-op that potion anyway.
Well,
Damage
he
through it.
already burned his potion. I think he just wanted to
Oh,
get
he
the
did.
victory there. Hopefully he's got another one because he's real low now.
Yeah, one hug could do it.
Yeah, he can't survive a hug. He can only survive one fire bat hit.
We'll see if he goes for the torch glitch. That could also be a critical thing here. Oh yeah, you got it. No problem.
Yeah, it's always a worry to get that when you don't have half magic.
Or even when you have half of normal magic.
Or yeah, especially when you only have, oh, and a nice
double. Finish it off.
Freeze the mid teleport with the torch lighting to set him up for the double hit. So GD to Kirito.
Finishing with an official SRL time of 3:18:13. And unfortunately, I don't think we have time for an interview with Kirito at the end of the race. We have to cut the stream here. So thanks to Maximini, our amazing tracker, for keeping us honest. Thanks, of course, to our runners, Kirito and Carnath, for putting on a good show.
Thank you to Zelnus for hosting.
Yeah, and
or
thanks.
Restreaming, I should say.
Yeah, right. And thanks for joining me here on Commentary X-Rock. It's been fun.
Yeah, this is fun commentating with you.
All right, well, best of luck to both of the runners in future tournaments, and take care, all.
Good night.